Like you mentioned Grant, played with him in the Cape. Is there anybody else, maybe somebody that was a freshman that's going in a sophomore like Grant, that LSU fans should keep an eye on next year?
First meeting was like, yeah, we got the 6-year guys like Vittmeyer and Bianco. I'm like, bro, I'm a normal senior. he goes, are you really? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I swear. And he goes, no.
I don't even know this one.
Do you know Hideki had a huge porn collection?
He just made that up.
No, he's Google it. Google it.
What did y'all give him this morning? He is off the racks over here.
He asked me specifically for Vyvanse this morning. Didn't give it to him. I was confused.
Oh, look out. Mikey's hit, and down he goes. Man. And he is not happy at all. That is the second time that Mikie Mahtook has been hit in this game. But this
Never forget it, bro. I had a 7 or 7:30 exam in the morning, so I'll walk outside.
Real life.
And I'm walking in my car, and I'm like, damn, enough, man. I could have sworn I parked right here. I'm like, what? Nah, maybe it's not here. I'm gonna go look around over here, bro. I walked like 3 parking spots, like in the direction I thought I probably parked. I'm like, fuck that. I know I parked right here.
Kids still doing that and out there playing for hours instead of just chilling on the video games.
Yeah.
Is awesome to see.
Chilling on the video games. Did you just age 55,000 years?
Well, we call them Fortnite nerds.
Yeah. Chilling on the
Fortnite
video
nerds.
games.
I mean, chilling, like playing video games.
That's the
fucking
way to
gaming.
say it, yes?
You think an old man would say chilling on the video game?
That's what you just said, yes.
You think an old man would say chilling?
On the video game?
On the video games?
Well, oh well.
You're an old man.
If you want,
Well,
I'm not a gamer.
You're getting older.
I mean, I guess I am.
Mikey.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, November 21st.
Victory Monday.
It is Victory Monday. We are brought to you by Sterling Automotive. What a weekend. It was cold, it was rainy. It was senior night. I kind of felt a little bad for the seniors here at LSU because of the weather. It wasn't a packed house, which I'm not blaming anybody. I was there. I would not have been there if I was in the stadium. I was fortunate enough to have a couple sweet tickets. It was my wife's cheer alumni weekend, so she was going to be there. I figured it'd probably be better for both of us if we're covered and we weren't stuck in the rain and the cold. But great night. LSU did what they were supposed to do. We have a big show today. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, college football polls come out tomorrow. AP came out. USC jumped LSU, which kind of assumed they were going to do that. We had a little talk off air. We're going to get into that. Going through the Heineken headlines. A lackluster college football slate on paper last weekend turned into a very wild weekend that almost caused mayhem across college football. Obviously, Tennessee lost. They got upset. Actually, they got boat raced by South Carolina. The Fighting, who's their quarterback? We just talked about him. Spencer Rattler. The Fighting Spencer Rattler's over there. 6 touchdown passes. Best game of his career.
Big cock guy. Loves called him the Cox.
I mean,
that just goes to show the person that he is.
Yeah.
Big me guy.
He is a big me guy.
Big me guy.
Bad leader. They won the game. Good for them. Thank you for that. Takes a lot of pressure off of the whole 3 SEC team debate. How does LSU jump Tennessee? Now they're out. You have this last weekend of the regular season, plus conference championship weekends. A lot still to be determined. A lot to happen. USC has to play Notre Dame and then the Pac-12 championship game. You have TCU to play in the Big 12 championship game. You have Michigan, Ohio State playing each other this weekend. LSU has to go to Texas A&M and play Texas A&M. They aren't very good, but they're talented. All they want to do is ruin our season. We're going to have Ryan Brauninger, analyst from Texas Ags, on the show via video call at 6:30. Did you email him?
I did.
Look at
emailed
that.
him.
Look at that. I appreciate that. What are you
Thank
doing?
you
You getting
for-
all lice out your hair or something?
No, it just looked like shit. I just look bad on this show. Like, it's the The morning show look okay. This show, take a nap.
Well, you have the morning and the night. It's tough. You have all day to get
ugly.
Disheveled.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You look good. I think you look great.
Thank you.
look great.
Thank you. Hey, speaking of being down bad.
What?
If your boy, who are we talking to again one more time?
Ryan Brauninger.
Ryan Brauninger. If he's anything like Billy Lucci was this morning, we were in for a treat.
Well, I asked him.
Are down bad.
I asked him before the show, when I was texting him earlier to get him on the show. I said, "Hey, how's the feeling down there in College Station?" I imagine everybody's just being extremely calm and rational and reasonable about what's going on. He said, "LOL, everybody's very excited about Schlossnagel and the baseball team."
We're a baseball school now.
So I didn't even mention the football stuff. He has a lot to do with recruiting, which I want to talk to him a lot about. Hey, what does the portal look like? Is it about to be a influx of guys getting into the portal? What does the recruiting class for next year look like for them? What does the future look like of Texas A&M football? What does this weekend look like? We're going to get all those answers from him at 6:30. We have 25 minutes of listening to us talk about what we want to talk about before he gets on here. And we want to talk about, obviously, LSU handled UAB, did what they had to do, 41-10. Over did not hit. I really wish it would have hit. There's a couple fumbles that happened that maybe the over would have hit if that would have happened. But that's football. All that matters, we got the win. The 14.5 spread was covered. I appreciate that part of it. It was a dominant performance. Offense looked very good. They got back on track. Defense looked even better. They had that one long kickoff return early in the game, scored a touchdown, that was it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Keep his name out your mouth.
I'm wondering how it keeps happening.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a wonder. It just keeps happening. Let's hopefully, we have 2 games left before the playoffs. It definitely can't happen.
The back of the end zone like you do every other time. Just kick it out the back.
Yeah, well, we'll see that, right? This is going to be a last mental hurdle for the Tigers this weekend.
I didn't say anything.
Yep.
Said nothing.
Just smiled.
Said nothing.
And laughed. This is a mental hurdle. Obviously, Texas A&M is talented. They're down. They've won 4 games. They had struggled with UMass this past weekend. LSU needs to go there, keep their mind right, go there, win the game, take care of business, come back, and go. I think the spread is up to 10 points now. I got it at 9.5. LSU at minus 9.5. I think it's up to 10 now. Well, I thought you took it with me when I took it at 9.5.
I think I did. Obviously, if you look in the document, if the people were privy to what we put in there, you would see that Michael is gambling again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get through that. I'm gonna get to that.
I'm gonna get through that.
I'm gonna get to that. LSU basketball had a nice little matinee game today out in the Cayman Islands. Maybe they're opening some checking accounts out there, but they had a nice.
Well, you know who scheduled that game.
Oh, we'll wait.
Yep. Yeah, I got to go check
on what he was doing.
Y'all think I can hop on that?
You think we'll wait with him?
Yeah. Oh, fancy seeing you here.
Oh,
Matt,
you
man.
What are you doing here?
Will, hey.
I just got a text from our guy. He said didn't get. Oh, I think he thinks it's a Zoom link.
No, it's an email. Tell him it's an email.
Okay. Check your email. What do we use?
vMix. Call. Don't let the people know. I wish Pat McAfee would say that on live TV I could fucking find out what they do.
They do FaceTimes.
I know, but I don't know how.
Yeah, we need to figure that out. LSU had a nice little matinee. They won. They won handedly. They played Illinois State. They're 4-0. They're doing the things they need to do. They're beating the teams they need to be. I think they're going to be an exciting team to watch, but we still got a little left of football. Needed to mention that. U.S. men's national soccer team. Did you see the shirt? Went and won, and I see the Mik'd shirt.
No, not for me. Whenever he scored the goal, did you see the celebration?
I did not.
I did not.
A little curtain call. We'll save it for later.
Okay.
Save it for the
There we go. They tied 1-1. They were winning 1-0 the entire game. Gave up a PK goal at the last couple minutes of regulation to
a superstar.
Wales.
To Gareth Bale from Wales to tie the game.
Wale.
To tie the match.
Yes, on the pitch.
To tie the match on the pitch. They ended up in a tie, but first World Cup goal in 8 years because they didn't make it the last time. So that's good.
There's been only one in between.
Yeah, only one in between. Saints are alive. They're on life support, but they are alive.
So is the bet. They are alive. So is the combo bet.
That's what I'm at right now, right? LSU's got 9. Saints have 4. That is 13. We need 2 more between the both of them to get the bet. I I think that we're going to go. I don't think the Saints are going to win this weekend.
And LSU can only help you one more time.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
It has to be in the regular season, correct?
Right, LSU needs one more win to get us to 10, right?
God.
Now, here's my next question.
You poor
Now,
back, Brian Kelly.
I asked this off the air, right? And I don't know who's watching, if people are going to answer this question, but since 2013, so after the 2012 season, how many 10-win regular seasons has LSU had in that time span? So that's almost 10 years, right? How many 10-win regular seasons have they had? Not 9 wins, win the bowl game, get to 10. How many 10-win regular seasons? And the reason why I bring this up is because it's more props to Brian Kelly and the staff that he has put in place on what they've done this year, right? Obviously, nobody expected, not many people expected 10 wins, right? They didn't even think that was feasible this year. Well, 10 wins is right there on the horizon. They're favored by double digits against a conference rival, a division rival, on the road to go ahead and win 10, go to the SEC championship game, and possibly get to the playoff. But the 10-win regular season, we think that since we're LSU, it happens very, very often. It has not happened all that often. That's the only hint that I'm going to give you, right? I know that you know the answer.
Oh, we got the chat popping up with
Let's
a couple
go.
answers.
What are they saying?
Hunter Fournette, thank you for your service. He drops 2 ? Barrett Granger drops 1. And then our very own Jack Ballard says 1 besides 2019. 2012 was the last one before 19, I think. So
he is correct. The answer is 1, and it is 2019. I said after 2012. 2012 was the last 10-win regular season before 2019. So from 2013 until now, they've only had one 10-win regular season, and that was the greatest team in college football history. All those Tennessee comparisons need to go out the window.
Come at me.
Those are gone. Yeah, that's not even
Come
close.
at me.
Not even close, right? So
thank you for playing.
Just good try.
Good try, yeah.
Try again. Let's try again.
That
First you don't succeed, try again.
That does feel good though if you're LSU. Whenever it's obviously the 2019 comparisons will always happen forever and ever because that means you were probably.
But they need to stop after like the 6-game mark. Let's get to like the 10-game mark before we start talking that.
Yeah,
because it's very hard to do that.
LSU was boat racing teams.
Do you think that's how the 72 Dolphins feel? You know, like, hey, good try.
We're the only ones.
I'll be honest with you, like it
Morris
it bothers me.
And bops and pop
time out. It bothers me when I see this come up because I played on some pretty damn good teams here. One that won, right? And I could very easily say that team was better than our team. So when I see these 6 games into the year and we're comparing the Tennessees and wherever else with it, I'm like, come on, man, y'all got to chill with that. Like that's not there yet. You're not there. No. You can't have this conversation 6 games into it. I don't care what you've done.
I agree.
I'm
happy that there's no debate anymore.
Well, even with Alabama, in 2020, the next year, because we played an all SEC schedule. It's like, well, I guess we'll get used to that because it seems like that's the direction the SEC is headed.
Well, they're not ever going to go to all SEC. They're going to have non-conference games.
They're going to have a week 0, and that's it.
No. I think they're going to continue to have a couple non-conference games mixed in. Like that, I think that's good for all of football, right? If there's going to be monster conferences, like I think that's going to be like playing somebody out, playing USC or playing Notre Dame or playing whoever else, Clemson, at a conference. I think that's going to be the norm. But I guess if the conferences do get so big and get to the point where, hey, you got Oklahoma, Tennessee, other teams that are coming in, what's the point of doing that, right? Because I guess that takes away the whole regional thing because you're adding teams from all over the country anyway. So I think I just convinced myself that you're right. This probably is going to be maybe all SEC conference. Maybe one.
You talked to Greg. Greg has a plan. Oh, Greg Sankey.
Yeah, he does.
He's making the SEC just a small NFL. You can see it.
It's kind of been that.
You can see what it's doing. It's obvious. It's good, though.
It's crazy the growth from 2000 till now. Like, what happened in the SEC, right? Like, SEC was good. SEC was really good. There was a debate on, is the SEC the best conference? Then it was, SEC is the best conference. Everybody keeps fighting it. And now it's pretty obvious SEC is the best conference based off of literally any metric you want to measure it on.
It was even obvious when they were fighting it. They're just like, hey, why are we fighting this so
hard? Like, because like at the mid-2000s, Texas was kind of good, and Oklahoma was good, and then you still had USC was in the mix, and Notre Dame was in the mix, and then now
when we were voting, when we were doing the computer BCS, and then now when we're voting, you can literally go back through all those years, and there's like 2 or 3 years that there wasn't an SEC team.
No doubt.
But we're still like, no, they're not the best.
And now you look at it and say, okay, well, how do we determine who the best teams are in the country. Well, wins, national championships. Okay, take Alabama out of the equation. Georgia, LSU has won one. Since the college playoffs started, like it's pretty much only been SEC teams, right? Minus Alabama. You can't really take Alabama out because they've won, right? Then you say, okay, NFL guys. Well, SEC's got the most NFL guys, current active NFL guys drafted and currently playing in the NFL. So that's
by a good number too.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to.
That's another barometer that we can say that.
Yeah, I mean it's just, and you have the viewership, right? TV games and how many people watch the games and view it and care about it, and it's just there's no really metric on somebody can compare, right? And so that's Greg Sankey. He's helped grow that. He's done a very good job with the SEC. It's going to be interesting to see how that conference plays out and how they decide to do all the scheduling stuff. But the more power, the more elite they can make the SEC, the better. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean it's already elite, and just if you can't beat us, join us, kind of thing. And I think that's what's going to happen. All right, let's recap the UAB game before we really get into the A&M talk. I was there. You were not there, but you were watching it, I would assume. Lloyd, you were there. Give me your thoughts. Me and Jay had a little thoughts before. You had some thoughts. Give me your thoughts on the game.
I do believe that what I watched was Jaden Daniels' most complete game that he has ever played in LSU.
I do believe you listened to Brian Kelly's press conference.
I did. I had to cut it up and have to cut up another one if you want that for Wednesday.
So are those your words or?
No, I've been stealing Brian Kelly's takes like a good bit lately because I have to listen to him, and I feel like a lot of people aren't really watching these, but I have to cut them and look at them and be like, I'm listening to him, which is good because I feel like it's one of the first times I've been in this game a little bit for a long time now, in and out.
A little bit for a long time.
A little bit. I mean, on and off. They send me back to sell some jewelry. They bring me back. I've been in the game a minute, but this is one of the few times I've enjoyed actually cutting up pressures because Brian Kelly pulls no punches. He is telling you, he's giving you good information in his post-game pressers as opposed to a Les Miles or an Ed Orgeron where it was, you had Les Miles and Ole Miss in, 2013? What a game! It's like, okay, thanks. I saw it too. That was fun, but I want my head coach to tell me what happened, not I was a bystander on the sidelines. You got the best seat in the house.
Right.
But to hear Brian Kelly talk about Jaden Daniels, I think he threw for over 300 yards, ran for 100.
290 something.
Yeah, threw for 297 and
400
ran for
total.
Yeah, that's his best complete game, and I said this earlier on the morning show. Probably left him in there a little too long. Because it got dicey for his
he got almost 3 out of 4 plays in a row where he got late hit on sideline, smacked a couple times in the middle. I'm like, okay,
and slugged down.
Okay, time to get him off the field. Right. But I know what he was doing. I imagine he kept these guys in there because of how
bad they
played against Arkansas. Hey, you guys, we're working on some stuff now. This ain't just about boat racing a team or scoring 80 points. It's about doing your job and honing your skills, and you have another week to do it because it's going to be in a hostile environment. A&M has nothing to play for other than to upset and ruin LSU's life, basically, right?
And not just that. Believe it or not, you know what else they got to play for? If you're not playing for that coach, what are you playing for? And yourself for what? Because
for the portal.
Rumors are saying there's guys getting in that portal. So guys are trying to put something good on tape before it's over.
Coach, guys are sprinting to the portal, it seems right?
Did you see the list of A&M players?
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of LSU guys. There's a lot of Louisiana guys from LSU, from here that are playing at A&M that I'm sure want to go out there and say, hey, you know what? If you want me, come and get me, but let me go and beat your ass first, right? So that's another game for them to go out and hone their skills and get their shit right and get ready for Georgia. And that, I would imagine that's why he kept them in the UAB game for as long as they did, right? They looked very good. They played a complete game. Defense, outside of the short field, the first drive of the game, they absolutely dominated. The running back, who was supposed to be all-world, obviously didn't do anything. They played extremely well. And Jaden Daniels looked very good throwing the ball down the field, right? I don't care what your opponent is. It was wet. It was cold. It was weird conditions. Senior night, he goes down there, and I think he had his best deep ball game of the season, right?
I was so for me,
what are your thoughts?
I watched that game, and I'm like, it doesn't get said enough. I think when people do say stuff about games like this, it gets overlooked in a little bit. But you go back to the Arkansas game, right? They play at an 11 a.m. game on the road. It's cold.
After a big emotional
game, it's cold. Basically, when you wake up, it's your feet hit the ground and it's time to play, right? Like, there's not much time to think about it. But, like, you wake up, you have an 8 p.m. game, you wake up, you have all day to look out of the window and not see the sun. It's raining, it's cold, you're playing UAB. There's a lot of reasons to come out sluggish. Let's just tell it what it is. There's a lot of reasons to be like, man, I don't want to be out here right now. And for them to put on a performance that's kind of so dominant that it's boring is impressive.
Right.
Like, I don't care how you say it, like, it's impressive because it is hard to do that in those situations. It's hard to play up to who you're supposed to be and who you're supposed, like, who the type of team you're supposed to be in those conditions.
It was nice.
It was cool to see that.
And it was nice to see some of the guys that haven't really got a lot of time, that maybe should have got time, a la Jack Besh, right? He had a couple big plays. I think he had 3 catches for like 65 yards or 70 yards or whatever it was. It would have been nice. Obviously, Kayshawn was sick. He had the flu. It would have been nice to see him on the field. But, hey, get healthy. Do what you got to do. Some of these guys, nice to see Noah Kane get in the end zone 3 times, have a really good game, efficient game, rushing the football. John Emery, unfortunately, fumbled the ball twice. Like, he's had some fumble issues this year. I think throughout his career, really, has had some fumble issues. So it was nice to see Noah Kane kind of take control of that running back, I don't say running back room, of that game, right? Yeah. Because Armani Goodwin's out, right? Josh Williams didn't play. He could have played. He'll be 100% this weekend. But now your running back room that had 4 guys, or 5 guys really are down to 3. 2 that you probably want with the ball with the game on the line because of the fumble issue. John Emery's ultra talented. I have nothing but good things to say about how he is on the field. It's just when you have the ball and you fumble a couple times, it's hard to earn that trust back from your coach. You look in the NFL, Melvin Gordon just got released because of fumbles, right? Ugh. Melvin Gordon was really good for a long time.
An unbelievable talent.
Right. And he just had a fumble issue this year, and he did it again last night, gone, right? And so it's one of those things where it can kill you as a team. I would like to see him correct it because when he is on the field, he is explosive and he does extremely well, and he's an asset to the team, especially catching the ball at the backfield. But you fumble twice, it's tough. You know?
Hey, and Lloyd, you talked about like the most like impressive game that he's played. I also think it was really good to see. So there's a lot of times you can go out there and be aggressive and it not work, and then you kind of got to scale it back and try to find some rhythm. It was cool to see them go out there, and obviously it was his best game that he played, but it was also the most aggressive that he's been from the start. Yep. And then he hits on these 50-50 balls, and he hits on balls, and they're pushing the ball down the field. That bodes well for them moving forward. That was good to see because it builds.
No doubt. And then you see, we talked about this with Kayshawn out and hasn't really. I mean, he's been playing obviously better as of late. Early in the season, you started seeing Malik Neighbors kind of step up, right? And we're like, man, we haven't seen Malik have the opportunity to catch the ball over the middle of the field, catch it and run in space and do these things. It seems like Malik catches a lot of balls underneath or over the top on the sidelines, right? But he goes up and he does really well with 50-50 balls, and you saw that. He had over 100 yards receiving. I think he had almost 130 yards receiving on Saturday, and it's nice to see somebody, hey, you know what? If I'm going to throw it up to you and it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not you're going to go and catch it. It's nice to have that now, and I think that Jaden Daniels is starting to build that confidence of like, okay, he's my guy. If I'm going to let it eat, I'm going to let it eat to him because I know either he's going to catch it or nobody's going to catch it, and that's important confidence to have in your receivers as a quarterback, right? And so I think everything's starting to kind of click, and I think it was a nice rebound game going into Arkansas. What's the thumbs up?
RB's here.
He's in. All right. Let's get a
and there's a little social. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Why do you feel like JD plays better and looser?
Looser is what he meant to say.
I got it.
Yeah,
I said
he
looser. I got
autocorrected.
it.
Yeah.
When Kayshawn isn't playing, is that just me? Okay, so there's some. I guess there's some validity to that because you think about the New Mexico State game. Is it New Mexico State or is it New Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Just New Mexico. No state.
Aggies.
Another Aggie.
Not the Lobos. Yeah.
Not the Lobos. So
we are the
you watch them play there. Offense looked good. Receivers were good. Everybody kind of got in the
you
mix.
fall asleep over there.
It wasn't fault. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well,
I literally
we
did this
a lot
to
of falling
crack my
asleep
neck.
talk over.
Listen.
Crack my neck and close my eyes for 2 seconds.
Well, I've just heard stories.
I mean, good
Oh,
night.
man, jeez. But
Good night.
he goes out there. He plays very well against New
What's
Mexico.
wrong with him?
Against
Well,
Mexico, whoever, New Mexico. Plays very well, right? He wasn't playing. He plays well again. I think, honestly, I think that's just a coincidence. I don't think that it's necessary that he plays looser. I think that it was just a game plan. It was unfortunate that Kayshawn wasn't in the game
Both games.
to get it. I know, it was very unfortunate. But also, both games were against subpar opponents.
I don't think
but
the sample
get right
size.
games.
I don't think the sample size games allows you to really.
Right.
I get what he's saying, but I don't think it really
Yeah.
allows you to make that statement and say that's what it is.
Yeah.
Does it feel a little bit, and we got to get to RB, but just to close this up on my end, does it not feel like a little bit Odell Jarvis when they were at LSU? You're like, you know he's a stud, but Malik Neighbors feels like Jarvis where it's like, I can just count on eight every time I see
For
him.
sure. But who's Odell?
That would be Malik. I mean, not Malik. That would be Kayshawn in a perfect world where it's like
Well, in a perfect
everything he
world.
does, he flashes, but it's not consistent. Like Odell
Did
did
it.
some things.
He didn't flash. He did it.
Right, but he also had some plays against Georgia or
Yeah, he had some drops, but-
drops and fumbles, but you feel like I can trust Malik Neighbors with my whole family.
Right.
as
Yeah, I
opposed
get
to-
what
you know
you're
I'm
saying.
Like there's one that's super dependable.
I don't think there's
but
anybody
the
on the
talent
team.
of Kayshawn is undeniable.
I don't think there's anybody on the team that you can compare to Odell. Right now, I really don't. Like Kayshawn's good. He's very good. I just don't know if you have anybody on the team that's Odell caliber. Now, the Malik to Jarvis, I understand that. I think Malik is
a pit bull.
Yeah, Malik is. Hey, you throw it to me. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna play hard. I'm gonna be kind of a dog. Like that's, I see that. Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare anybody on this team to Odell because Odell's kind of a almost once in a lifetime type of talent, right? Like
Yeah,
just
but
the
he
way
was.
he's an
But
athlete.
I guess a better like representation of what I'm trying to say is like a true one, like one wide receiver where you have like a Jamar Chase where you're like that's
Right.
Justin Jefferson's awesome, but when you look at like when you watch him play, like Jamar Chase is something that I've never really seen before.
Yeah. Well, the problem that year we had 3 number ones.
Yeah, Terrace Marshall.
The problem that year is they came into the year with
Problem that year
Terrence
was Joe
Marshall as
Burrow.
like as the guy,
Yeah.
and somehow it didn't phase out that
He'll
way.
be fine.
Unbelievable.
Right?
All right,
Let's
let's
open
get
against Alabama.
Let's get to Ryan. We're going to take a 30-second break, or maybe a minute break, see how long this takes to get
Depends on
situated.
what ads we have in here.
Yeah. We're going to get a minute break. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We'll be right back on the other side. Today's show is brought to you by Dos Equis. Here in Louisiana, we like to have a great time. If you're looking to be the life of the tailgate, check out Dos Equis mini kegs. Hold 16 beers, easy to tap, easy to pour, easy to chill. Check it out. Become a life of the party. You're welcome. Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mik'd Up. I want to talk a little bit about my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette. They're locally owned and operated for over 25 years. They have 13 locations, 4 in Opelousas, 5 in Lafayette, 1 in Broussard, 2 in Jennings, 1 in Crowley. They sell any type of car you could possibly find: Buicks, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia, along with 5 pre-owned locations. They have over 1,500 cars in inventory on site. Unbelievable service, unbelievable people. If you're like me and you're on the go, they can sell and they can ship you cars up to 200 miles. Unbelievably convenient. Again, my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette, go to their website at saveatsterling.com. Awesome people, go check them out. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Big game this weekend. Last game of the regular season, rivalry game. Down, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough word to say. Down in College Station. Our friends down there in Texas A&M, they're having a rough go at it. Everybody, from what I've been told, is handling it extremely well. They're very calm, and they're very rational about this situation. Ryan Brauninger from Texas Ags is here to explain to us how calm they are and what the feelings are like down there in College Station. Also, I think he has something to say to Jay Mitch. Jay Mitch he's a super athlete, but not athletic enough to bring back one of your homers in college. It's from what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all are aware, but I played college baseball at McNeese, and we were playing at the new box in the first year in 2009. And I think it was like the 6th or 7th inning, I hit a 3-run homer to put us up. And I think it was, I might have hit off the tip of your glove, Jay Mitch. Like, you were running it down, and I almost ran past first base because I was watching you about to put me on SportsCenter. I thought, just over your glove. And then I think maybe Ochinko and Shemp hit like back-to-back homers in the next inning, and you guys pulled away. Of course, that team was loaded, man. I mean, that was y'all's national championship team.
Hey, y'all had a squad, though. Y'all had a squad. Y'all had Jace Peterson. Y'all had a squad. Jace Peterson and the boy. Yeah, y'all had a squad that year. I remember that.
Yeah, I think we led the Southland in average that year, set the McNeese record, which still stands today in batting average as a team. We couldn't stop anybody from scoring.
Yeah. So get more athletic, Jay. That's what it's telling
I guess I should have jumped a little higher.
That's it. Get more athletic.
He hit it too hard. What do you want me to do?
Should have had Leon Landry out there.
Ryan, I appreciate you coming on the show, dude. Let's jump right into it. I know you're down there in College Station. You have a finger on the pulse of what's going on. Give us some feelings about how the fan base, how the boosters, how everybody feels about what's kind of happening right now in College Station.
Yeah, frustration. I mean, as expected, right? Whenever you have a season that A&M's had with the expectations, you come in the year ranked number 6. And, man, Mikey, if it could go bad this year in College Station, it just has. I mean, everything from, obviously people are frustrated with the play calling and the time management on Jimbo's part, but then you go into the recruiting and people are frustrated about recruiting, but you've also had just an insane amount of injuries. Like, I've never seen a football team get this beat up throughout the course of the year. We knew that they were going to rely heavily on that 2022 number 1 recruiting class, but I don't know that they thought they were going to rely this much on them, right? So there was a graphic that came out from one of these SEC stat Twitter pages last week that A&M has had 100% of their snaps this year. They've had a true freshman on the field. Wow. And at that point, going into last week, 4,800 snaps on the season by true freshmen, which doubled the number 2 team in the conference, which is Ole Miss. So, like I said, we knew that they were going to rely on that 2022 class a lot, but, I mean, you're really digging deep into it now with all the injuries and stuff.
You talked about the class. You talked about the recruiting class. Obviously, it was historic, right? It was, by all accounts, the number 1 recruiting class in the history of recruiting based off of ratings and rankings and all of those types of things. With the portal and the way that the nature of college football nowadays, how much of that 2022 recruiting class is going to be intact come next year with the portal?
Man, it's hard to put your finger on that stuff, right? Because I think the portal's so fickle. How many times do we see kids go into the portal only to stay at the school that they were coming out of the portal from? Or they say they're going in, they meet with certain coaches and certain people on campus, and they don't ever go in. So it's hard to put your finger on exactly what's going to happen, next week and the next coming weeks from A&M. But from what we understand, I think they're going to do a pretty good job of keeping a lot of those kids in College Station. Now, you won't keep all of them. I don't think there's a program in the country that's going to keep all of them. I know you guys are having a sensational season in Baton Rouge, but I would expect there to be some attrition from LSU too, and it's going to happen. It's just the nature of the beast, like you said, Mikey. Like, how do you do it now? How do you navigate a college football season in a landscape, in an environment, and keep all your kids, everybody happy on a 105-man roster? I just don't know how you do it.
So I would imagine that it would be very hard to actually execute the thing I'm about to talk about, but I would imagine the seats pretty hot in College Station right now. And I've seen it brought up nationally a couple times, so I want to know how much of the conversation is between what Jimbo has done over his tenure there so far compared to what Kevin Sumlin did in his tenure there. And let this be known. I love Jimbo too. It was great, but the numbers are the numbers right now. So I want to know how much that conversation is coming up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and that's a popular thing to tweet every time Jimbo loses, right? We get it from Baton Rouge and Austin and Norman and Fayetteville and Tuscaloosa.
A lot of enemies.
Yeah. But, the thing that got Kevin Sumlin in hot water wasn't the first, let's say 40 games of his career.
It was the helicopter.
It was the second 40. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if Jimbo has a back half of his coaching tenure at A&M like Kevin Sumlin did, then they're going to suffer the same fate, right? So, Jimbo's not going anywhere this offseason. I don't think that the contract is structured as such where you can get him out.
But I was about to say,
a lot of money has
no
to be
way
forked
he can
over,
leave
huh?
there right now.
This isn't a place that's short on money, but that's still a hefty check to sign, right?
Yeah, no doubt. So staying on the Jimbo topic, right? Obviously, Jimbo is known for being an offensive-minded guy. He's known for developing quarterbacks. He's known for having success in that realm of football. What has been, outside of the injuries, what has been the issue with his offense? Some people say he's outdated. Some people say that he needs to give up play calling duties. What do you feel like the change going forward will be for A&M to be able to take that next jump, to be as good as their talent is on the team?
Well, yeah, and you've seen a lot of head coaches, successful college football head coaches, give up play callings on either side of the ball. You know, Nick Saban handed it to Kirby. Mike Gundy handed off the offensive play calling duties early in his career. Mac Brown did it at Texas. I just think that when you watch A&M play, there's certainly talent there. But Jimbo's trying to manage the entire thing, and he's trying to call plays, and he's trying to work the officials, and then he's trying to manage the clock. Like it's a lot of stuff, man. And one thing we know about Jimbo is the kids continue to play hard for him. Like, it would have been easy for A&M to mail it in this year with all the stuff that's gone on. But when you watch them play on Saturdays and you listen to them talk, like with their NIL interviews and stuff like that, they're still pretty hooked up. They still play really hard for the guys. So I don't think that there's a lack of belief in the locker room in Jimbo. But I do think just kind of a restructuring of his organization is something that he's going to have to do, probably starting here in the next week. But when you watch him play offense, you're going to go, man, number 15, Connor Wickman, he's really, really good. Number 1, Evan Stewart, he's really, really good. What's hurt them on Saturdays is the offensive line play has been pretty bad all year. They go through phases where it's okay, and they're certainly better with Wickman back there because he plays the game a little bit quicker, gets the ball out a lot quicker. But they've been really, really bad for all the skill talent that they've got. It can't work because they're really struggling up front. And they've also, let's just go through the injuries on the offensive line. Your starting left tackle is playing, and he shouldn't be. He's basically on one leg.
Right.
You've got you've played 5 guys at left guard this year. 5, all scholarship guys. You played 5 guys at left guard. Your starting center, freshman All-American, out for the year. Your right guard has been in and out of the lineup. The only guy that's been in the starting rotation all year is your right tackle. And so it's just been musical chairs up there. It's not allowed them to have any kind of continuity and consistency on offense, especially with a group that was struggling to begin with. But that's why A&M, I think their biggest shortcomings this year on offense have started up front.
I have a question for you.
Why'd you say it so calmly?
Because I feel bad. We talked to Billy Lucci today. He was down bad. I know where A&M's been because LSU has been there before, where you're just kind of, my hands are tied. But when you see Jimbo with the glasses falling off his face, he has a notebook and a play sheet and another play sheet, and it's just, when you see it, it is easy to make fun of because it looks like a guy that's studying for a final that is not ready to take the test, and the test is right now. And so I'm just wondering what A&M feels like whenever they see Jimbo. Is it getting to that point where you're kind of, if it wasn't the contract, did Scott Woodward actually play 4D chess on y'all, and you're like, oh man, he was moving to LSU this entire time?
Okay, that's a little stretch.
Well, you can't judge the contract now because what would have happened if LSU would have gotten him? No, what would have happened? What would everybody have said had LSU gotten him when they made their run at him, last offseason? So you had to pay up to keep him, right? Because Scott was pulling the strings to try to get him to Baton Rouge. Oh, really? And so, you would have lost a lot of that recruiting class. At the time, you had to do what you had to do to get him. Now, you can argue 50 different ways about the validity of it, the length of it, the guaranteed money, all that. But it is what it is right now, and you had to do it to keep him in College Station, which obviously at the time everybody believed was the best move for A&M.
Yeah, obviously, Jimbo's going through it right now. It's been a tough go. I mean, I think we all in here, Jay Mitch obviously has played for him. He's seen him firsthand. I think we all think he's a really good coach. I think if the players are still playing for him, sometimes you just have an unfortunate season. You don't want to have back-to-back seasons. But going forward into this year, right? You have one game left. You're playing LSU at home, away, a game that you basically. I mean, why do you have to rub it in his face?
You guys are trolling me here.
What are you doing with us, man?
You feel bad for me, then pop this picture up.
I mean, what is happening? But
this is all Lloyd's doing, by the way. This is all Lloyd.
This is Lloyd. This is Lloyd's deal. But you have the opportunity as A&M, right? Obviously, the A&M LSU rivalry since they came in the SC has been pretty hot. So good that they moved the LSU Arkansas game out of the last game of the season to LSU A&M. You'd imagine that if they go ahead and they upset LSU and ruin LSU's dreams and hopes this weekend, that kind of can validate some of the things moving forward. Moving forward, right? What are some of the things that you need to see from A&M this weekend to say, okay, they have a legitimate shot, or what do they need to do to be able to beat or upset LSU?
Oh, wrong picture. My bad. Back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to figure out a way to block Harold Perkins, which nobody has. And you guys know my main job here at Texags, I cover the baseball team, but during the fall and a lot of the spring too, I'm a recruiting analyst. So I'm on the recruiting trail, and Greater Houston's my area. So I got to know Harold extremely well. Covered a ton of his games there at Cy Park on the northwest side of Houston. He's been sensational. I mean, off the charts good. He's certainly going to be a problem. I don't know what you can do. I don't think there's a way you block him or scheme around him. He's too good. To me, he's the best defensive player I've seen at LSU since Devin White. And I thought when Devin White came in here in College Station, he was the best linebacker I'd ever watched play on Kyle Field from an opposing team standpoint. And then, I think they'll do okay. They've been okay. They've been fine on defense, and they've got a ton of athletes on defense, especially in the front seven, a bunch of kids that can really run, but they're all so stinking young. The defense is playing more freshmen than the offense is, and that by a lot, and they're beat up too. So, but they're athletic. The pieces are there. They're just super young. Jaden Daniels seems like he's gotten more and more comfortable. I think what Brian Kelly's done, I watched y'all in week 1 against Florida State, and I was like, well, they got a long way to go on offense. And then I watched A&M in week 1. I'm like, man, they're pretty good on offense. And look how all that's flipped on its head on 180, right? But I think containing the LSU running game, make Jaden Daniels, if you can, make him beat you with his arm, and then figure out a way to get your hands on footballs to give your offense some kind of short fields, maybe a Devon A-chain kick return. You've got to do something, I feel like, non-offensive to either score points or put yourself in a really good position to score points, because going 70, 80 yards against this LSU defense with what A&M's got on offense right now, I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen very much, and that's. I don't want that to be a commentary, guys, on what I think of the talent at A&M. I think Connor Wigman is a super stud. I think with the right offensive system, this guy is going to throw for a lot of yards and put A&M in a position to win a lot of games. And I think Evan Stewart's one of the best young receivers in college football in the SEC. So there's talent. There's plenty of talent here. But at this point in the year, you are what you are, and they're not going to change it in 1 week. So you're going to have to get some help from LSU. But I know just getting the vibe from the kids on campus and, the students felt like they were called out with that picture your boy just popped up there. They felt like they were being called out on Saturday. Let me tell you something, dude. A 1-9 football team against a 3-7 or whatever it was football team in those conditions, there's no weather worse than what was in College Station on Saturday.
Right.
It was 38 degrees, sideways rain that never stopped.
Yeah.
So windy that was blowing it sideways for legitimately from 9 in the morning until about 7:30 at night. It never stopped. So I don't blame people for bailing. And those pictures were taken out after halftime. And look, I get it, man. When you're having a season like A&M's having, everybody's coming for their pound of flesh anytime they can. So you get it, you take it on the chin. But I do think that the students took that as like a call out maybe, and they showed up big time from what we understand for the ticket pool today. So this is A&M's bowl game, man. And how do you want to go out? It's certainly not been the season that you expected or anybody expected in College Station, but what kind of stamp do you want to put on it going into the offseason?
One small follow-up. Two things. One, the weather this past weekend at LSU wasn't great either. It wasn't a huge turnout on senior night, so I get that. I understand that, obviously. We're playing. But what took you talk about Wigman, you talk about how good he is and how talented he is. What took so long to get him in the lineup as a starting quarterback, right? Because didn't seem like Haynes King was doing all that good. Obviously, you had Max Johnson, but like
throwing motion in the country.
Yeah, throwing motion is a little funky from Haynes King. What took so long to get Weigman in the lineup as a starting quarterback?
Yeah, I just think getting comfortable with Jimbo's offense and Jimbo feeling like he had a good enough grasp of what he wanted his quarterback to do. And, you know, Haynes started the year and was not good. The thing about Haynes is his dad, you know, is a head coach at Longview High School. Haynes has got like a Texas high school football legend. It's real kind of Friday Night Lightish with Haynes, with his story. And he's such a just incredible kid, super tough. Like he played against Florida a few weeks ago and had no business playing against Florida with a bad shoulder, with a crazy bad turf toe, and he's out there kind of just trying to will himself through a game. But he started the year as a starter, and then they handed it to Max Johnson, and Max was playing pretty well. Like, I feel like Max was doing at A&M what you saw him do at LSU. Like, he'll keep you in the game. He'll surprise you athletically sometimes. Real calming, kind of mature kid, good leadership qualities, and then he bangs his thumb on a helmet against Mississippi State, and for a quarterback, that killed the season. I mean, he was out for the year after that, and then you go back to Haynes, and while Connor's continuing to try to get ready. But once they inserted Connor, you saw a little bit of life in that South Carolina game where he had him within a touchdown late, couldn't pull off like an incredible Hail Mary, and then they gave him the ball as the starter for an entire week leading up to Ole Miss. And I mean, he shredded Ole Miss. He was sensationally good against Ole Miss, and that was kind of the question around here was like, all right, well, he was clearly the most talented guy. Like, what took so long to get him on the field? But, you know, it's his job now. It's his job in the future. It's his program in the future. There's a lot of folks wearing maroon and white that are hanging their hat on the future of number 15 in College Station, and rightly so. Like, for you don't know, if y'all don't know, Mikey, I coach travel baseball. I've been coaching travel baseball since 2010. Connor Weigman played for our academy, so I've seen him since he was about 12 or 13 years old. And just in every setting, when the lights go on, it didn't matter if it was a tournament with nobody there, if they were in Atlanta or at the big tournaments in Melissa or Florida, whatever. It's like when it was time to go and the lights were the brightest, that guy was the best player on the field, and he like kind of willed himself to do it. So I'm not surprised at the success he's had. And I think like he's the guy that you hang your hat on going forward, and there's your hope in the offseason.
So I know what I'm kind of expecting out of this thing, but you touched on the amount of young kids that are playing. You touched on how much they're playing. You're getting down to the end of the regular season schedule, right? Which basically means there's experience in there. What are you expecting to see, whether it's wherever the motivation is coming from, but what kind of product are you expecting to see out of this A&M team to basically close out their regular season this year in this last game?
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on that too, Jay Mitch, just because, I mean, you are what your record says you are, and what we've watched all year offensively, like I said, like how is that going to change in 1 week? But I do think with the kids wanting to go out on a high note, like I said, like a bowl game, I would expect some emotion to come out, man. Like I would expect it to be a pretty rowdy atmosphere. I do think there'll be a lot of purple and gold in College Station. I got people from Lake Charles driving up and staying at my house that I play college ball with, and to come check it out. But I do think that there'll be a lot of purple and gold in the stadium, but should be a good atmosphere. And I think something's got to happen early, Jared, for A&M to stay in the game and like kind of give them some hope. So if you're LSU, you're going, okay, like don't let them hang around. Right. Don't give them false hope. Because they are talented enough. A&M's talented enough to beat LSU.
Yeah.
LSU's going to have to help them out.
They're as talented as anyone in the country. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah, and I think, don't you guys think that there's like there's kind of a temperature line in the conference where I think like Arkansas, A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss to a certain extent, like they could all be having anywhere from 8-3 to 3-8, 4-8 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like. Right. I feel like there's a big group of teams that are right there. Even when you go into the East, like the margins are so fine in this conference, and the ball's certainly not bounced A&M's way, and a lot of that is their own doing. So you're not looking for excuses. But I'm watching games on Saturday, Arkansas and Ole Miss, and going, man, A&M beat Arkansas,
right,
and then they lost Ole Miss. Like the margins are so fine, and you guys know, like in baseball, any weekend in baseball, like one pitch can determine the outcome of a series because all these teams are so evenly talented. So I don't think A&M's close to LSU this year. But I do think their temperature check, where you've got to be above a certain line to win games against talented teams. A&M's got the temperature to hang with a Bama, to hang with an LSU, to hang with a Tennessee because they've got the talent.
Yeah. You talk about the talent, and obviously it's been quite the stir in Baton Rouge about the players that are on Texas A&M's team that are from Louisiana. And so for the people that are kind of projecting into what's going to happen maybe in the future when you look at the A&M roster and you look at the transfer portal, is there a little bit of, I guess, cause for concern with what's going on in A&M when you have a Matthews and you have a Denver Harris that all have ties to Louisiana? Does that almost play to your benefit a little bit whenever it's like they want to show out in front of their home state, say that we came to A&M for a reason, or is it this is a tryout to see like I'd like to play in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know exactly what's going to happen today. Now, I wish I'd give you a better answer, but things are extremely up in the air. And I don't anticipate kids from Louisiana leaving just to go to LSU. I think kids may go into the portal and see what happens. But again, I don't have that definitively that Jacoby Matthews or Le'Veon Moss, those are two freshmen from Louisiana. Marshall Harris is a kid that grew up in Baton Rouge and went to the Woodlands up, North Houston. We're seeing more and more of him each week at linebacker. Actually had a strip sack against Massachusetts last week. So it's hard, right? Because all these kids, if you say they're going into the portal because A&M's having a bad season, but they're also playing a bunch. Yeah. And they're probably going to play a bunch again next year. So do you go jump into a situation where I'm playing in the SEC West every week and I'm playing 60 snaps, 50 snaps a game? Or do I go somewhere where the roster may look a little better, but I may not be on the field as much? I think in today's college athletics, you go somewhere where you're playing. Yeah. You don't have time to waste anymore. And that's what we see. I see it on the baseball side so much is that everybody grows up and they want to go to LSU, A&M, Texas, Arkansas to play baseball. And then they get there, they're going, well, I'm not going to play for 2 years. Let me go somewhere I can play. Right. So I think playing time early in a career is really, really valuable. If you're somewhere where you're on the field, why would you give that up?
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's the portal. The portal thing is a crazy wrinkle in college sports, right? I think that eventually it's gonna. I don't want to say even itself out because I don't think it'll ever even itself out. But I think it's the longer the portal is here, the more stable I feel like it's gonna get. There's gonna be some sort of. I mean, you saw it last year. There's so many guys.
What do you think should happen, though, Mikey? Do you think we should continue to allow the free transfers as much as you want?
So I think there should be each team should have a limit on transfers they can take in, right? The limit should be, hey, you know what? If every team wants to take in 7 guys out the portal, you can take 7 guys out the portal, right? You can't be unlimited on the amount of guys you can get. I feel like now, obviously, there's, the portal has helped LSU immensely this year because
I think it should be a however many games you actually played over, I don't know, let's say 50% of the snaps in the game. That's how many games you have to sit out if you're going to go transfer somewhere else, especially for the second time. Yeah. If you're going to transfer somewhere else the next year. Something to limit you from just saying, I didn't get everything I wanted, I'm out.
Now, obviously, you have the NIL stuff too, which obviously throws a whole nother wrinkle into it because now it's professional sports, and they're going to be – I mean, I can't imagine the schools that are going to be knocking on Harold Perkins' door this year and saying, hey, we're going to give you this amount of money to come play at our school. Now, at some point, you have to think, well, okay, is it about the money or is it about, hey, I've made a name for myself here. I'm going to be an All-American. I'm going to be the best player. I'm going to be in the NFL. At some point, it's got to be – you got to figure out what's important.
And my thoughts to it is if it goes that way, you get less of the NIL push on the side, knowing that, hey, well, he's not going to be on the field if we get him here. So why are we really going after him right now?
Yeah.
I wish. It's so funny when all this stuff started coming up and we're trying to prognosticate on what's going to happen. I'm sitting there we're talking about the things that are happening. We are talking about a year ago in February of 2020 when all this it was right before COVID, all this NIL stuff started to really ramp up. And I remember it was Maverick Carter, LeBron James, and Gavin Newsom signing. They did all that it was a TV appearance or something where they signed into law in California. And I'm going this is going to change college football. And then when you add the transfer portal in it, I don't understand why people are surprised about anything that's happening right now. What did you expect?
Right. There's got to be – And listen, I'm not the old man, oh, you need to go play for free because you're getting a scholarship. I do agree guys should get paid in school, right? Now, I think that if you're going to treat it like the NFL, be in the NFL. Listen, when I was in Major League Baseball and I was playing with Justin Verlander, who do you think had the endorsement deals? Justin Verlander. I had 0 endorsement deals. Why? Because Justin Verlander performed on the field, and he had made a name for himself on the field, and he has earned the right to make that money, right? I wasn't getting, oh, hey, come to our team. We're going to give you $2 million to endorse this because we want you on our team. I don't think high school kids should be paid to come to school because you're highly touted. How many 5-stars have we seen come to school and never pan out? You know what I mean? Like, show me something on the field before we give you the money. Now, you can say, hey, you have the ability to make this, right? But it's not. That's just not the way it's set up right now. That's my take on it.
Well, there's no uniformity in it, right? Louisiana's laws are different than Texas's laws.
Right.
And so the NCAA completely dropped the ball on this when they could see it coming, and they chose to do nothing because they're a spineless organization that continuously makes the wrong decision without any foresight. They let this happen. And so there's no continuity, there's no consistency because Miami or Tennessee can go in and say, we can pay you now. Right? We can pay you now because that's what our state laws say. Where Louisiana and Texas, it may read a little bit different. But here's the thing, too. What you said, I thought that was a really poignant point that you made, Mikey, about Verlander. And it's kind of like advice that I'm hearing more and more on the recruiting trail with trainers and high school coaches talking to kids about NIL. If you choose to go to LSU because of their NIL structure, some NIL deal, and you don't play, you don't perform, you don't show up to practice, you're a problem, and you just get passed up, you ain't getting any NIL money. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. You want to get a lot of NIL money? Be really good.
Right. Exactly. Like you earn it on the field. That's all. Like, if you want to give this kid $3 million because if you want to give Dylan Cruz $3 million, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, oh, he hasn't earned that. You know what I mean? Like he's out there every day doing his thing. Same with Harold Perkins next year. Hey, Harold, maybe we gave you 150 this year, but hey, based off of what you did, how good you are, and the attention you've brought on LSU, you've earned $500,000 that you can make throughout the course of the next 2 years because of your talent. Like,
but how do you quantify that, though?
No, right, and that's the thing, right? Because they don't.
Well, it's a free market, so somebody's judging how much that's worth, right?
Right.
You're worth whatever somebody wants to pay you for that.
Right.
But here's what it's leading to is Brian Kelly, Jimbo Fisher, Sam Pittman, Dana Holgerson at the University of Houston. You're going to have to re-recruit your roster every offseason with this stuff.
No, all throughout the year. It's not even get to the offseason. You got to re-recruit them all year, basically. I would imagine some guys they might be getting in the game late. They might be getting snaps later in the game just to keep them happy. You never know how this thing's going throughout the year, you know?
Yeah, and people will start using the portal as leverage, right? And why wouldn't you? The kids have all the power now. And I'm with you, Mikey. I was all about them getting paid. What I didn't like was the inconsistencies of how the laws and the regulations were formatted across the country, that it's not an even playing field. You don't want to break the law as an institution in your state because of how you're doing NIL. It's just not worth it. And then when you compound that with the transfer portal, which I think to clean up the transfer portal, go back to the old way. If you want to leave and you haven't graduated, you got to sit out a year. I think that would curtail a lot of these kids just jumping in there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I get there's occurrences that happen, right? Like, hey, if you went to play for Texas A&M and Jimbo got fired, okay, I understand that. You should be able to have the ability to go in the portal, leave without having to sit out. Because if a coach can up and leave somewhere, even if he doesn't get fired, go somewhere else, you should have the ability to go and do that. Now, if you're going because you're upset and you didn't play and you're promised playing time, but for some reason you just didn't perform and you want to transfer because you're upset, that's, to me, that's just...
You're telling me I can't smoke weed in the locker room?
That's... Oh, Jesus, Lloyd. This guy, he's not looking. This guy over here.
No, I can't. This guy, I guess he's a really good producer, huh?
Yeah.
Can't get rid of him. I can't do the job. But that's my point. It's listen, if that was the case, if that was the way it was back 4 years ago, Patrick Queen Patrick Queen probably wouldn't have been at LSU. He didn't play till his senior season, right? He was behind the depth chart, behind all these other guys, Devin White, and he stayed, ended up being a first-rounder, and now he's a legit all-pro linebacker in the NFL, right? So some guys take some time. Everybody's time frame is a little different. I think that there's got to be some cleanup in the portal. I don't know how you do it, but it needs to happen.
I don't know how you put the genie back in the bottle with any of this stuff, right?
It all falls on the NCAA.
Right. Let me ask you this. In your opinion, based off what you've watched both in football and baseball, and Mitch, you too, hasn't there become a huge value in being old?
Yeah.
Like, I watched Texas A&M's baseball team go to the Final Four of the College World Series for the first time in school history, and they did it with 21, 22, and 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well,
that had bounced around college baseball, had 600, 700 at-bats other places, and they came in, whether they were of SEC caliber talent or not, but they were old, man. They've just been through it and seen it. And I think even in football, like Arkansas, I don't know that they're super talented, but they're old.
Yeah.
Mississippi State is old. And so, like, to bring it all back to A&M, like, of course you're going to take some lumps. I don't know that it's going to be 4 and 8 lumps like you are, but you're going to take some lumps when you're playing, 26 freshmen.
Right.
So I think it's, like you think about the college basketball side of it, right? Every year we see these uber freshmen go to these big schools, but very seldomly do you see those schools actually win it all, right? It ends up being the team that has the guys that's played together for 3 and 4 years, the guys that have been there for a while. I think you're 100% correct on this thing where it is right now. It's almost like it's completely flipped.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when you add in, hey, I can make some money now, there's real staying power in staying in college longer right now.
Yep.
And for these bigger schools like the LSUs and the A&Ms, it's man, I'd love to have that 18-year-old freshman here. We'd love to get him here, but man, we got this guy who's got 2,000 college at bats. We got this guy who's played 1 million snaps already. He has the experience in this league. Get him here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's turned into.
I think it will kind of maybe sift some of that out once the COVID guys get out.
Right.
Yep.
Because remember, they're still in the rosters in college athletics where you can have a 23-year-old and he's still a senior, right? So once all that gets out, and I'll tell you who it's really screwing, guys, is the recruits.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are kids that are going to be late bloomers in high school.
100%.
That would normally be the late.
The young kids are the ones that are getting screwed right now.
Well,
Yep,
and Brian
absolutely.
Kelly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but like if you're a coach, Mikey, and you want to win, right? Like this kid may be really good, and I think he's going to be good in a couple of years. But I can go get Florida State shortstop who's unhappy to come in and help me win games right now. Like I'm going to put my money because I get paid to win. I'm going to bet on the older guy.
And it even goes past what your wants are. Like your job's to win. Like your livelihood is on, am I going to win here or not? Well, I mean, who are you betting on right now? The guy with experience that may be a little bit better, or are you waiting for the guy to develop here?
Yeah, listen, I agree with that. I think that the older experienced guys are more beneficial, especially in baseball, but definitely in football too. I think that it's hard to sustain a program by just living in the portal, right? Like you may have 1 or 2 years being really good, but eventually those older guys are going to leave, and these younger guys don't have experience, and these younger guys don't really have the guys that they've built that connection with for 2, 3, 4 years to have that, camaraderie and like that feel of like, damn, we are a team, right? So Brian Kelly said it a few weeks ago. He said, listen, you can't sustain this success with just living in the portal. You have to go and recruit young kids, and you basically top it off with the portal, right? Fill in some gaps with guys who fit what you want, fit your program, fit the culture to be able to put those in a position to play now and ease these young guys up. And I think it goes even more so for baseball because you played it. Baseball is, if you don't like the guy next to you, you ain't going to play. It's not going to be a fun season. You're not going to really come together and win because, you can be as talented as you want. But if you ain't trying to do it for the guy next to you, it's hard to really get to. I mean, you can look at talented teams all over the place that don't really pull through because, one reason or another, they don't seem like they like each other. But I'm with you. I think the older guys have a very, very – they're important to the teams, but I think there needs to be a mix.
I think you're 100%
Yeah,
right.
and I think too, at the big schools like LSU and A&M and Texas and all them, like you have to sustain your program through high school recruiting. It's good for the relationships in the state. It's good for like being able to walk into living rooms and talk to kids in Louisiana and in Texas. Is that, look, we're bringing these kids in and we're cultivating them as human beings, and you can show growth in your program, right? And so you're right, Mikey. Like if you just rely on the portal, you better get it right every year and you better be really good at building culture, right? Because you're bringing in a whole new batch of guys that have been told different things by other college coaches already. Right. So that synergy is going to be really tough to build every year.
Yep. And although y'all are not wrong, I do think personally, when I think of the portal, what I think of what it screws these young kids out of is, think back, like if you were bringing Justin Jefferson into LSU right now, is he going to be here? He came in here as a 2-star.
Right.
He wouldn't be here.
No.
Right.
They're going to go get someone else. So you never see that guy blossom the way he did here. And maybe everything about being here is what turned him into the person that he is today. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's not so much about building a team, but like we said, like, if it ain't the top flight guy, they're just going to go get older guys.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the young kid who needs to come in, who needs some seasoning, who needs a little time, is going to miss out when they should possibly be at schools like this. Yeah. You know?
No doubt. I'm glad I don't have to make the rules, and I'm glad I'm not in the room trying to make these decisions, because it's a tough one, man, because it goes both ways, and it's like you said, it's hard to put the genie back in the bottle.
Can't put Pandora back in the box.
It's hard to put Pandora back in the box. Dude, I appreciate
Super
your
sad,
time.
man.
I kept you a lot longer than I thought I was, but this was good conversation. I'm glad you're asking me questions. This is good. That's how I want the show to be. Before I let you go, though. No, go ahead.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Hey, we can do this again in baseball season, man.
That's what I was.
You've already pivoted to
That's what I was actually about to. I was about to segue.
Basketball might be good.
Basketball actually is pretty solid this year. Y'all gonna be all right in basketball. But I was about to segue.
Yeah, Buzzing's got him going a little bit.
Yeah.
Boys are buzzing.
What's the baseball team look like going into this year? I was gonna end you on the baseball subject anyway.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with Kendall Rogers. I've been talking to him about some of the preseason stuff, and with my role as a travel baseball coach, I've got kids that I've coached that are all over the country, and so I get kind of feedback from everybody. I think this A&M preseason wise, I think they're going to be a top 5 team, man. They're really good, and they returned so many guys and so many offensive weapons off last year's Omaha club. They've gotten much bigger physically. There's a kid that was. I think we have a mutual acquaintance, Mikey. He was a recruiter at LSU. Now he's a recruiter at A&M.
Yeah, I think I need to get rid of him. Bring him back over here.
He's the worst person that ever lived over there, isn't he? He's
Let
awful.
him hit the portal.
So is the hitting coach too.
So he got a kid that was committed to LSU and brought him with him to College Station. He's probably going to start in left field. 6'6", 230-pound left-handed hitter. That had a 507-footer against Lamar in the fall game. So they're going to be extremely physical. They're very, very talented, and they're old. And we just talked about that. So, Schloss has got to get it right from the synergy perspective. There's a big hole behind the plate. They got to find a catcher, and who's going to do that? It's obviously a hugely important position, but they're poised. If you're going to make a preseason Omaha 8, I'd have A&M in it.
I love that. I think that LSU goes to College Station. I've never been to College Station in my life because they came in the conference after. I think we should make a trip.
It would be a bad trip.
We should make a trip to go see our friend, friend Nolan Kane down there and see what he can do. Go heckle him, and our new friend Ryan. Go heckle him down at third baseline.
Stop at Daryl's on the way over. Stop at Daryl's. Get me up a Daryl special.
I'll hook you up. I will bring you a Daryl special, no doubt. Dude, I appreciate it, man. We'll have you back on baseball season, no doubt. And, man, this was fun. You're awesome.
Hold on, real quick.
I forgot. You do have one more question.
One more before you go. And I know I've been trolling. I'm not trying to troll anymore. What is the actual feeling in College Station? Because I've been saying for the last 2 weeks that I do feel like A&M is a live dog in this scenario where they have the talent. But after what we saw, obviously, this weekend, not the best effort by the fan base. You tried to kill 2 people that were praying of the Minutemen with the cannon. So, it's all is fair in love and war. But I'm saying, is there an actual expectation? Because what's the spread, Mikey?
I think it's 10 now.
It's only 10, and LSU was just at UAB at 14.5. So, LSU's still not getting, the real respect from Vegas. But I believe that's because A&M is a live dog in this scenario. Is that the same feeling down at yell practice on midnight tonight or Friday?
Well, I don't go to those. I'm out covering. You still got a jab in. You still got a jab in.
That was more than one jab. Let's be honest.
Listen.
Yeah. He started saying, "I'm not going to troll," and then he trolled. He got a real question in. No, I think it'll be a fun atmosphere. I think I don't know that it'll sell out, but I think it'd be getting close to 100,000. And as long as A&M can hang around and make a game of it, I think the fan base will be into it. So I think I'm excited personally to watch the young guys one more time and then kind of see where it goes in this offseason. There's kind of a lot of things being talked about, but until they're put into action, you just don't know. So it's going to be up to Jimbo to make the necessary changes. I think that's going to happen probably starting on Sunday and Monday of next week, and then A&M will try to close a recruiting class. But yeah, man, it's tough to say that the fan base is going to be as riled up as they normally would whenever they're going in at 4-7.
How many times have you been kicked out of travel baseball tournaments?
0.
Oh, nice.
Come on, dude.
Twice.
Not everybody's like Lloyd.
Not Danny.
Ryan, dude, I appreciate it, man. You're awesome, and enjoy the game this weekend. We'll have you back on for sure in a few months during baseball season.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome, man.
All right, man. See you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great.
Definitely understood the show.
Got it.
Boy, you were on a mission, weren't you?
They're down so bad, and it's just so funny. I
mean, kicking a dog while they're down, dude. That's just.
I know, and I'm the one, but I
Tell you
also
what,
have.
We're gonna have a hard time not bringing out the fan side of Lloyd next year because, boy, it's coming out strong in the second half. Good night.
Hey, I'll tell you what we have done. We've set ourselves up for baseball season to have some really good interviews because he obviously understands. He played college baseball. He understands the college baseball atmosphere. He understands the baseball atmosphere. They're supposed to be a top 5 team. LSU.
Oh, where have you seen that before? I didn't say
it.
Just
keep piling it.
Still going right now.
And so, obviously, we're gonna have some good conversation with him. Our guy from Tennessee, he covers baseball for him as well. Like those are 2 huge matchups. It's gonna be really, really fun. And obviously, we love football and we love baseball. People tune in to listen to us talk baseball. I think they're starting to tune in a little bit more to listen to us talk football now, which is nice. This is our first.
It took us a season to get there.
It's our first football season. Listen, next football season will be even more electric. Football season's not over though. Not over. We got a long ways to go. But then once football season ends, sprinkle a little basketball, but we got baseball. And that's what everybody's excited about. He's obviously excited about it. He can't wait to talk about baseball because football is not what he wants to talk about right now.
Yeah, the football talk's over there.
But I think he's right.
He's doing his due diligence at this point.
I think he's right.
He's just punching the clock.
There's a lot of talent on their team. There's a lot of young talent on their team.
4-7 with the number 1 recruiting class. A lot of those guys are playing.
And a lot of those guys are playing. Listen, they've been playing. Like he said, Denver Harris had the strip sack. Like he's starting to play more at linebacker, didn't he?
Hey,
is that what he said? No. Who said linebacker?
I don't know.
Listen, he did. No, I'm gonna be honest with you though. He really did bring up a great point. Like we're all expecting the whole team to jump ship at the end of the year, right? That is going to be exactly what Jimbo hangs on to. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to play this much at? Do you know you're playing this much? You've played this much here. You know we got this kind of talent here. Why would you leave? That's a lot to give to a young kid to be like to walk out and say, yeah, I'm still going.
Yeah.
Like they're going to hang on to that a lot, and he's probably right. They're going to keep more guys than you think.
Some guys
are leaving. They're going to keep more guys than you think they're going to keep. That's what I'm saying.
No doubt. Man, that was a lot longer conversation than I anticipated. I love that.
Oh, it's a full-on therapy session for everybody in them, but that's why I wanted to put the caveat in of I still think it could be a game. Like, there's a reason to spread it.
No, sure.
I'm not trying to be the guy that says LSU's going to trounce A&M because I think they're very alive.
I did take LSU minus 9.5.
Hey, listen, let's be honest. The game ends. If the game ends in a 10-point, like it's still a game in college. Like that's. You know what I mean? Like that's still a game in college.
And they got players.
Well, here's the deal. Their defense. You talked about how good their defense was, right? Their defense has been pretty good all year. Like that's how they stay in the game. The defense holds LSU offense down. What is the line now?
Is this real?
What's the line now?
It's not the line. I just got a text from our guy, our social guy, Jack. Breaking.
Oh,
this is from a verified account.
Listen. With verified accounts, people have to pay for this.
I'm
click the blue check, like you said.
No, he's real. Yeah, I just did.
Not a paid partner.
And he is saying, breaking. Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin plans to step down as the Rebels coach Friday and head to Auburn to become the Tigers' next head coach.
Lateral move, huh?
Weird. This was a lateral
According to
move.
That's a lateral
sources
move.
say the
Why
Tigers-
would he do that?
Why
That's
would
a
you
lateral
go to
move.
Auburn? That's a lateral move. Why would you
Kidding me?
just do that? I feel he could do the same thing at Ole Miss. I
kidding
don't
me?
think Lane thought that. He actually, before you got here, he admitted.
Yeah, no, he don't. He's so mad you just did that to him on air. He's
No,
like,
I'm
God,
not.
everyone knows now.
He admitted to me. He
No,
goes,
I knew this was coming.
he
after.
said,
y'all
man,
were
this
right.
is blowing up my face.
Y'all
What?
were right, but
Huh?
I still feel right. He
So
can do the
is he
same.
stepping down? Hey, so your boy Crane was right.
Your boy Crane. That's
your
your guy.
That was a
Had him on
wrong.
this morning.
It was a
Hey.
wrong Crane.
Wrong Crane.
I do think.
Fuck.
I do truly think LSU's in for a dogfight this week.
No doubt.
I
100%.
thought Lane might go to A&M.
So wait, Lane stepping down before the Egg Bowl or after the Egg
That's
Bowl?
why I don't even. I mean,
Probably
how can I
after.
believe-
What
Probably
did the
after.
What did the
Probably
tweet
after.
say?
Head coach Lane Kiffin plans to step down as the Rebels head coach Friday and head to Auburn to become
Friday.
the Tigers.
Oh,
next
so
head
after
coach.
the Egg Bowl.
After
Right,
the Egg
that's
Bowl.
what I said,
and-
probably
yeah.
after.
Wow.
Finish out the 12, and then he's out of
So
there.
maybe does Ole Miss just go back and say, "Hey, Freeze, come back on over to Ole Miss."
The most incestuous school of all time.
Like, who could they get there? They're so
Well,
bad.
yeah,
Deion.
No, Deion ain't going there.
he whittled down his list.
Deion did.
Mm-hmm.
To who?
Nobody very cool.
What did he say?
I gotta find it. Real
I think he
quick.
would really consider the Auburn job. He ain't
Listen,
going
I know
there.
people are talking about like, oh, Deion can't do what he does in different places. I think Deion's more calculated about his moves than you think.
I do too.
What do
right?
you mean?
Like-
Why would he take a Jackson
No
State
doubt.
job? Like
No
that's
doubt.
not.
That's my point.
He had a job every day
Not
making
you,
good.
guys.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like
Yeah.
I'm speaking to like he had a job making very good money with no stress.
Yeah,
Colorado and South Florida.
What do you? I mean, there
that's
you go.
why. Because he knows that. To me, that's a calculated move by him.
Mike
He's like,
Gravel saved his job.
Yeah, no doubt. I can go and recruit, and I can do what I want to do, and I can show that I can. Okay, I showed you I can do this at a HBCU.
Group of five, yeah,
I can
HBCU.
now. I'm gonna show you how I can do this at another school that's not as big.
So, and that's why
Yeah.
my thought. I was like, if the Auburn thing was in play for him, I think he would take that, and he would never consider the Ole Miss move
Yeah.
because it is
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
a better job.
Colorado's a better job than
No,
Auburn.
No.
Auburn.
No.
But I think the Colorado move for him is like, okay, I can go into this conference.
Do the Mel
I
Tucker.
can.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever been to Boulder? Probably not, but Boulder's awesome.
Coach.
Have you?
Yeah.
Boulder's awesome.
Ski trip 2014. First time weed was legal.
You probably don't remember much.
No, some god. I got stuck on the ski lift. I had to go around one more
Did
time.
you bring the eye drops or did you buy them there?
Yeah, you can have. No, it's a status symbol to have red eyes there.
But I think that's. I mean, those schools that you mentioned, like to me, that's a calculated.
Super
move by him.
calculated.
Yeah.
Why would he even throw those out right now? Super calculated.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay at Jackson State.
I mean, he may, but
He might.
But the next step up is going to one of those schools and showing that he can do it there.
Yeah.
And then after that, he can get whatever job. If he shows that he can
If he goes there and quote unquote turns a program around or makes the program a lot better, like significantly better, there is every big job opening there is in the country would be.
I just got another text. Told you it was done. And sent me the screenshot of the tweet of Lane going
Who
to.
sent you that? Jackie?
No. A friend off the show.
Wow. Off the show.
Yeah, off the show.
Tried to tell you, Lloyd. Tried to tell you.
It's all right.
Just didn't want to. You and whoever that guy was in the chat that said we're all going all over the place. You and him. Tried to tell y'all.
Kick rocks.
Just didn't want to hear.
Is it
I
just-
wonder if he's listening tonight. He hates us.
Is it just because of the resources at Auburn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have better back.
Richer tradition.
Yeah, it's just a better school. Like
Yeah.
better football school.
I get all that. I guess I'm wrong. Shit.
I mean, shit. Walk into the two stadiums and
I
tell
mean,
me which
listen
one.
to-
I've never been to either.
Hey, I'll tell you
I'm gonna
what.
tell you right now. Hey, I'll be honest. No bullshit. Auburn. I've said it before. Auburn was a fun place to play, man.
Yeah.
Like it's that atmosphere gets rocking
Hey,
over there.
Lane Kiffin loves to be hated, huh?
Cool.
He's gonna be hated in Tennessee.
Because he's
now
gonna-
he's gonna be hated in Ole Miss.
You don't think he loves rivaling Saban too?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like I love you,
Oh,
but
he's
I
even
love to come
closer.
take. I love to come
Now
take
I
some
have
new
an
players.
opportunity to beat you every year.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna take your job when you retire.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
And he's gonna piss off Auburn so
he's gonna
Yep.
be coaching. 3
He is
SEC
going to be the most polarizing coach in the SEC for how long? Who else do you know is going to be at the end of it probably coaching in 4 different SEC schools as a head
How
coach?
many
And
SEC
USC and the Raiders.
How many SEC schools did Tuberville coach for? He coached for a couple in the West, right? Coached before someone in Auburn. Did he not?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know.
At Auburn.
Before somebody coached somewhere in the SEC before Auburn, I believe. No?
I don't know.
Did I just make that up?
Yeah, feels like it because he's running for governor or whatever. If you want to vote for him, you can. I think the voting is
I'm
closed.
about to say that's pretty much done right now.
I'm not registered, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But good luck, Tommy. Tubbs.
Let's see. Tommy Tuberville. Oh, no. Wait. I'm telling you, I think he coached someone before. Yep. Okay, so.
As a head coach?
Ole Miss.
As a head coach?
95 and 98. Ole Miss.
Well, we are just proving this guy wrong all day. All day. We were just proving this guy wrong all
day.
day.
The next Tommy Tuberville?
95 and 98.
Next
Ole Miss,
undisputed.
And then 3 years, just like Kiffin.
I love laughing at him. He was so dead set on this, too. God.
Sorry.
And then Lane lays the biggest egg of all time this weekend. It was like, damn it.
You knew it. He knew it. He knew it, too.
This man has eyes for somebody else.
You knew it. All right.
I thought he was going to go to A&M.
How?
You don't think they would take him?
Not for
How?
Not to pay $85 million.
I say I had a friend bring up so if just like you said, if you get rid of Jimbo this year, you realize like how much money that's costing you, right?
They don't care.
Yeah. But you're not listening. It's not costing you $85 million. You do realize that, right?
It's costing you back pay too.
It's costing you at least $185 million because you got to pay the next one.
And
so
that was my grift with Auburn is that they do this every time. Like every coach they have to buy out again
because
they have that much money. But that's why I didn't think that Lane would want to go do that bullshit.
Lane. If my whole point of this argument was if Lane can do what he's doing at Ole Miss,
but they won't let him. Was my thing.
But they will. He's not going there unless they let him.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like he's not going to go there unless they say.
He's built enough of a resume too, where I think he's
earned the goodwill again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he's not we don't know what's going to happen with Lane. Like no,
he's not the young hotshot know-it-all right now.
Right.
I think he's
33 coaching Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, no,
the
seriously,
Raiders.
yeah.
I know. I think Lane's a great coach. I just thought that he wouldn't want to put up with the bullshit because he has so much bullshit with him.
But the ceiling's so much lower there.
Yeah,
it just is.
Y'all are right.
It just is.
I'm wrong. I hate it.
I love that.
It's okay.
I love to hear that.
I'm man
from
enough to admit it. Lane's wrong. It's okay.
All right, let's get back to what do you want to talk about? Get back to football. Get back to the weekend. I mean, we already talked really about the A&M with him about what to expect this weekend. For me,
Dustin Blanchard. Hey Jay Mitch, it's me, and I'm listening.
He's back. You lied to us.
I love it.
He's back.
I love it. For me this weekend. I think it needs honestly the same playbook.
Shout out Dustin.
The same playbook
Dustin.
that
We
happens.
like
I love that he's listening.
We like you, Dustin. I respect it.
I love that. I love that he chimed in there. That was nice. Welcome back.
I'm here.
Hey, I'm glad you're still tuned in.
We didn't lose one.
I'm glad you're still tuned in.
If anyone else is listening, we kept him. You need to stay.
No doubt.
First segment of all time. Jared
We come
Mitchell.
back. We came back.
Let me see what he's talking about today.
He came back.
Me and Dustin are in the same boat.
I'd love to see. Hey, this weekend's huge. I'd love to see. So, what do you expect?
I want to see if they get off to the same start. If you get off to a hot start, though, right? Like,
yeah. Like, if you do what you did this past week,
it's over, right? Like, but Ryan made some comments about there needs to be something to shorten the field for them and not allow them to have to go 75, 85 yards every possession. We seem to do that a little bit and give you the opportunity to have a short field based off of kickoff returns.
All the stops are coming out for so many different reasons. When you can go from the young players putting out their audition tape, you can go from the young players that are saying, I want to stay here and I'm going to show you why I'm staying here. You can go from Jimbo coaching here before and wanting to beat this team here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are so many reasons as to why all the stops are going to come out. This is going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to be easy.
I would be very, very shocked that this turns into a one-sided match.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy now.
And they're so talented,
right.
too. That's
and
the crazy part.
I want to see. Now, I'm glad that we have Matt House on our side because I think he does a very good job of confusing. I mean, first 3 quarters against the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, that guy looked lost, right? You were getting pressure on him. He was struggling. Bryce Young was not having a great day, right? Now you have a true freshman under center who's very talented, but, I would like to see, okay, Let's go. Let them eat. Let the boys eat and go get them and confuse them and kind of get them a little bit sped up. And I think if you do that, they're not going to be able to have much success offensively. Now, obviously on our side, offensively for us,
but you
need to be efficient. Can't have many turnovers.
But yeah, I'm so glad you just said that, because the one thing that is like paramount in this game is the way that the ball ends up bouncing. LSU needs it to be on their side, in a sense of you don't want to give them that false sense of security and like they're actually in the fight.
Can't do what you did against Arkansas.
Can't have tip balls go their way. Can't have fumbles to just put it on the ground and give it back to them in short fields. You have to really value the ball and really, really, really control that part of the game.
And that's why I think.
And they're going to make you dizzy in the stands with the whole like sway thing. You ever seen the student section do that?
No. Yeah, LSU does that.
No, not the swag surfing.
Yeah,
no.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about like
cool.
the ones
Theirs
that are
very incestuous. Would you go to a midnight yell?
No.
What would it take?
Nothing. I have zero.
Jimbo's contract?
No, like
if you give me
Jimbo's contract, I'll go to it naked. I don't care.
Yeah.
Put the spotlight on me. I'll go to it naked.
Something
I don't care.
a little real.
But
give me Jimbo's contract. Don't let me coach. I don't want to coach.
Yeah, I don't want to
You
coach.
have to.
Nah. I'll do it too. I don't care.
I'll do
it too. I'll be out of job in 2 years. It doesn't really
Pay
matter.
me my $75 million buyout.
I'll do it too. I don't care.
Bobby out.
I'll be out done in 3 games.
But if you're talking something realistic, like worth going, no, I'm good.
No.
I'm straight.
No, never go.
Don't need it.
All right.
Straight is a good word.
What are you expecting to see out of tomorrow's polls that come out?
That's perfect, dude. We're on the same wavelength right there. That's where I was going to. All right.
What do you expect to see?
I think it's gonna be the top 4 are not gonna change. Obviously.
Yeah.
Right? You get Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, UCLA. I honestly think that they're going to jump LSU. I think they're going to put USC at 5.
So, okay. So with that thought, because we kind of spoke about it before, y'all are kind of under the impression that the Tennessee loss is really good for us.
In the sense of if everything, like if the teams were to lose that you expected them to lose, like if TCU and USC loses, to me the Tennessee loss is huge because now that debate's out. Now, if the other team, if USC wins out and TCU loses, I think they're going to put USC in there.
Yeah, I think so too. I personally I think it would have been great for Tennessee to keep winning, being that we know that they had no chance of getting, like, they're already not going to be in the SEC championship. They don't play anyone else really good to end the year, right? So when you have that loss, and I guess maybe so, even more so because of the fashion that they just lost in. Like if that was a close game, I think I'd probably be a little different.
Raced, huh?
But when you get boat racing, there's a 60 burger hanging on the board, and then now
we're gonna have fireworks.
And then now we're gonna try to talk about a 2-loss team getting into the playoffs, and that's one of your marquee losses. Man, that's hard to really sell that.
Yeah.
So I personally think it would have been great for them to keep winning because
I get that.
We'll see. I think that I do think though if LSU were to
if you beat Georgia, everything takes care of itself.
It does, but I do think that loss by Tennessee is going to murky the waters just a little more than what they were.
Here's the deal, right? LSU beats Georgia, right? They beat A&M, they beat Georgia, right? Georgia's still going to be in.
Yeah.
Right?
Rightfully so.
All right. So Georgia's in. Ohio State, Michigan winner. Let's say Ohio State wins. Ohio State's in. So 1, 2 stay the same. Now you have TCU undefeated. Let's say TCU wins, right? The Big 12. They're in. So that's going to be 3, right? Well, Georgia would probably be 3. TCU would probably be 2. Ohio State would probably be 1. That leaves 4, right? That's going to be between SEC champion, LSU, and it's going to be Pac-12 champion, USC.
I tell you what, it's crazy to think.
It's the tweet I just put up on the screen. This is Lane Kiffin, a borderline, almost Brett Favre scenario with his.
I'm about to say, can we put that thing away?
Yeah, we kind of showed his penis a little bit.
Wait.
But this is Lane Kiffin just tweeted this about the Egg Bowl, read between, I guess, the Egg Bowl rivalry, but it is a subtle flex of.
I'm here.
And he's there.
Maybe it's not true.
So listen.
Dude, the first comment is, bro, you still coaching for us?
Hey, you know what is crazy to think is that say you somehow get a TCU loss and obviously a combination of the Ohio State and Michigan loss, depending on the matter of those losses, like how they actually happen, you know who's still not far out of this thing, which is nuts to think? It's crazy. No, I'm being honest.
How about Clemson?
Alabama.
No, Alabama. Because like think about it, like everyone's been so quick to say like Alabama slipped, they're falling. Nick's out, he's on his way out. Think about their 2 losses this year.
I don't know. They lost by one play on both teams.
The last play on one game and pretty much the last play on the other side of it. 3-point loss and a 1-point loss.
No, we'll say this. I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I'm going on the side. If we want to, everybody wants to look at everybody else's losses, even their wins, right?
Yeah.
Oh, LSU struggled with the Arkansas team. They only won 13-10. Well, Alabama struggled against Texas. Texas quarterback doesn't get hurt, they probably lose.
Right.
Struggled against A&M. If Haynes King isn't the quarterback, they may win. Or if they actually call a competent play and don't run the play they run, they probably win.
Oh, you tell me you don't want to get in the end zone on 4th down?
Yeah. So my point is they have had other games that you can look at. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No. I'm saying in the sense of like, even if those losses were to happen and it were to shake out in their favor, I still don't think they get in.
Yeah, right.
But there's a conversation to be had if those things were happening.
Here's the deal.
LSU right now today, there's no conversation.
If LSU loses, right, and they're out,
I have the scenario right here.
Michigan State's what?
Like the Alabama way in, I got sent to it by an Alabama fan, Hunter Hall, who brought us the rum at Uncle Earl's, which was electric.
Alabama ain't getting it.
But this is the scenario that Jay Mitch is talking about, so it's not out of
the realm of possibility.
Thank you. Tennessee's 25-point loss to South Carolina. Alabama will likely be number 7 in the CFP rankings. Number 4 loses in the Big 12 championship to Kansas State.
Wait, so why are they automatically number 7?
They were 8.
Yeah, but you don't think that Clemson's going to jump them now?
Why would they?
Because historically, before you go, historically, the way the committee has done this, right, is they may have put Alabama at a certain spot, or a team that had a couple losses at a certain spot, but then as the year goes on, they keep them at that spot and they just keep jumping them with teams that have a legitimate chance. Clemson, 1 loss. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they're going to, but historically that's what has happened, right?
It's possible.
Hey, you're in the 8th spot. You're going to be in the 8th spot.
It's possible.
You ain't getting past it.
It's
right?
possible.
It's possible. Right, go ahead. Finish that.
Okay, so to continue.
Okay.
Courtesy of Hunter Hall. Thank you, sir. Number 4, TCU loses in the Big 12 championship game to Kansas State or Texas. I just said that. LSU loses to Georgia in the SEC championship. USC loses to Notre Dame in the Pac-12 championship. Either Notre Dame or the Pac-12. I guess,
one of the two.
One of the two. I don't know why they would play each other. And then Clemson loses in the ACC championship to North Carolina. So there's an avenue, and Alabama fans are very much like LSU fans, to where when you get down, you don't really act like A&M. You act more like, what's our way in? Like, Alabama has never been out before.
Right. So here's my rebuttal.
So they're putting up
here's my rebuttal to that. Ready?
None of that's gonna happen. You would hope.
Even if all that happens, 1 loss Michigan or 1 loss Ohio State's in.
No, dude. I said
in over Alabama.
No. Because I literally just said that. What if they play next week and Ohio State blows their doors off? Oh, Michigan's out.
No, okay.
They're out of here.
I'm going based off.
They're out of there.
I'm going based
off. Or the other way around, kind of maybe.
I'm going based off what the committee has normally done, right? I think that USC already has a loss, so they're out too. I don't think they're gonna put.
I don't think all that's gonna happen. So that's where I stand on it.
Right.
But in the world of haywire, like they're not out of it. That's all I'm saying. They ain't dead in the water.
But we want them to be.
Oh my God.
and that brings me to whenever you move the playoff. Oh my God.
If they got in the playoffs, move to 30 teams next year. Playoffs 30 teams next year. We can't have this anymore.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Whenever
hey, don't sleep on Cadillac Williams and not upsetting them in the Iron Bowl, okay?
He just lost his job.
Who?
Cadillac.
Yeah, but they haven't announced it yet. He's gonna go play in the Iron Bowl. He has even more reason to.
Cadillac don't care.
Even
right
more.
Now.
Yeah, he don't care.
In his mind, he's like, I'm gonna be the head coach or associate head coach.
He's gonna be there.
It really doesn't matter.
He's gonna be there. Hey, even more reason for them to go out and win one for the skipper. You know what I mean?
Win one for the Gipper.
The Gipper. I said it wrong. Skipper. Yeah, I guess you can go on for the skipper too if you want.
Ooh, hold the rope on Tuesday.
But
keep him alive.
It's gonna be
3, 4.
Under.
I don't know. What happened? Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right under.
It's normal.
Oh man.
I'm average.
That's tough.
Did y'all have any gambling this weekend?
I feel like you did.
I did.
No.
You didn't have any gambling?
I chilled.
You didn't gamble one game.
The weather had me down.
Even more reason to gamble.
That's why I gambled.
Yeah, I was trying out.
Well, I gambled. So
I'm checking my app right
historically
now.
throughout the course of this year.
Oh, we got Monday Night Football right now?
Yeah.
Who's playing?
Cardinals and somebody.
Hey, big.
I took an L this week.
Hey,
by the way.
unbelievable. My backups went off.
A little bye week
Thank
action?
God for Justin Fields.
Oh, he's hurt now.
Yeah, no, it's day to day. But
we're riding him to the wheels
Coach,
fall.
I scored 130 points and I still got James Conner playing. Thank God. Who else went off for me? Oh, Tony Pollard.
TP?
Tony Pollard. I mean, if Tony
Did y'all
Pollard
play each other?
Yeah,
we did.
played each other.
If Tony Pollard hasn't won the starting job for the Cowboys, then Jerry Jones is an idiot. Because, I mean, this dude, every time he gets touches, he goes off. Last 3 weeks, he scored 25-plus points in fantasy, which means he's having a really good game on the field. Who else went off for me?
I think everybody
had double digits.
except for like one person, I think.
Except for my tight end that had to pick up
string tight end.
to pick up at the last minute.
I'm like, bro, are you kidding me right now?
Conklin scored me 2.9 points. That was it. My defense scored me 25 points. It was great. Great. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's great.
Thought I had a chance to. Not really.
I thought I had no shot.
Hey, outside of a chance too, like I thought, like, hey, look, I'm down by like 15. He's got James Conner going. Like, listen, if something crazy happens, he has a good game, I got a chance. Here, let's play Kadarius Toney. He's out of he ain't even in the ball game by the middle of the first. I'm like, 0 stats. I'm like, bro, come on. Man.
And then you look up and Tony Pollard's got 3 touchdowns. Like, Jesus Christ. 2 reception touchdowns.
Yeah, so whatever.
But
we got to keep treading water the rest of the year.
But NFL, my NFL, I was on 3-2 in the NFL. So I was up money in the NFL games. College, I did not. I was about 500. Maybe one game under 500, I think. Yeah, UConn. UConn screwed me. UConn plus 10 against was it Army or Navy? One of the
it was one of them.
One of them
played somebody else
and
too.
they just
I am 1,000% going to give this computer a virus.
Why would you do that?
You're trying to get the game pulled up.
I mean, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal.
We're up.
We're up. I did take LSU 9.5. What is the line right now? Let's see. $49ers and Cardinals. The Cardinals up 3-0.
I have the Niners. Put them in the teaser.
I didn't bet. I
believe. Dude, live betting has been the absolute saving grace for me in the NFL. Like being able to watch and make a decision. I had
Jesus
one
Christ.
What?
95% of the money are on Ole Miss to beat Mississippi State.
Now you have to take Mississippi State because the coach is
the line's only 2.5. Oh wow! Opened at 5.5. Now it's 2.5. That's the coaching. Yeah. Baylor and Texas.
I took Ole Miss in a parlay.
It's 2.5.
Texas has a chance to get to the Big 12 championship at 8-4.
Cannibalism.
Jesus Christ. TCU has to lose. That's bad.
I shouldn't have put the TV on.
No, I'm not looking. I'm not even looking at the TV.
I'm paying attention. They just gave a crazy stat about McCaffrey. Only player in the NFL ever to, in his career, average 50 yards receiving and 50 yards rushing a game.
Oh, no. Who's my guy, Shanahan? The coach for...
Oh, yeah, Kyle.
He is obsessed with McCaffrey. Like,
oh, dude.
Obsessed.
McCaffrey's hit the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy.
Route. Yep.
He's the guy. He's their Terrell Davis.
Yeah, he's going to abuse him. And then trade him for Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey was a badass, though.
Champ was nasty.
Hey, don't sleep on South Carolina upsetting Clemson. This little old Clemson.
Little rat.
14.5 is a spread. Wow, I think I'm taking South Carolina on that one.
I don't mind that at all.
I think I'm gonna take South Carolina on that one. Let's see what else. Michigan, Ohio State. What's the line you think?
14.5 there, huh?
Michigan, Ohio State. What do you think the line is?
It's not that. I would say. Oh wow.
6.5.
No, I'm looking at the bets of that, like where the money is.
Oh.
The spread though is what 3.5.
What'd you say?
I said 6.5.
7.5.
Where's it?
95% of the money is on Michigan.
Really? That's wow.
At 7.5. The line opened at 7.5, got to 8.5.
That's a sucker bet. That's telling
got
you
to
take the other side
9.5.
all day.
Is now currently at 7.5.
I actually like the Ohio State side of that.
Over under 57.5.
A lot.
Let's see what other ones of note.
Ohio State.
We're gonna talk about this again on Wednesday, obviously, but
Early show.
oh yeah, good call. All right,
Must be a good
Wednesday.
producer.
Good. Thanks for producing. Wednesday, being it's the eve of Thanksgiving, and a lot of people travel on this day, we are going to have an earlier show that day. Time to TBD. We will know probably
We'll let you know as soon as possible.
Tonight we'll know. We'll have a conversation off air about what time we need to do it. It's probably going to be around midday, whether it be 1 or 2 or something.
Throwback show. 11 a.m.
Not 11. I would do 11, but not 11. Maybe 11.
Maybe.
It'll be midday. We're gonna have a nice little fun Thanksgiving show, and we're not gonna have a show on Friday. Obviously, it's a Thanksgiving break. Everybody's gonna have an opportunity to go hang out with their families and do their thing, and then we'll be back again live on Monday. But
what we're doing is trying to give you something to drive to.
Exactly.
You have to go home.
Exactly. So if you want to listen or watch it live, great. We'll love that. But we will have it on our YouTube channel, and if you want to be a reckless driver and put the YouTube on, and you can listen.
We're
to
not
it in your
endorsing
car.
it, but
you can listen to it. You don't have to watch it. You can just have it playing. Yeah, or you can watch it, or we're on the podcast and you can just listen to it. I know it's a lot more fun to watch it, but
Absolutely.
and if you want to do it, just go ahead and subscribe. Click that subscribe button, share it, and tell everybody. But we'll let you know the exact time very, very shortly tonight at some point. But thank you for. I am going to go see that though.
Why? It's
What do you
the
mean?
same fucking movie. They already
The first
made
one was
it.
great.
Jake Sully.
Come on, man.
What did you like about it?
Everything.
It did change the way this stuff was like.
You're not that guy.
Yeah,
right?
I know he's.
I should be all in on Avatar. I like all of that kind of stuff, but the story was.
No. My point is this: if I said, "Hey, this is what you're going to watch," you pay your money to go sit there. Are you walking out asking for your money back? No. That's all that matters to me.
I'm with you. I'm not
That's
a big
it.
movie snob.
Oh, okay,
I'm not a
well.
movie snob, but I'm not going to see Avatar 2.
Wow. They don't even have the money where the money is on the LSU game. 97% of the bets are on LSU.
What's the spread? 10 and a half?
On this, it is 9.5. It got up to 10.5 at one point on this website. It opened at 8.5, got up to 10.5, as is currently at 9.5. Over under is 46.5. I think I like the under, to be honest with you.
It depends on what Jane Daniels you're getting. Like
What kind of weather we got there?
Yeah.
Something's got to be
Look
behind
at the
it, huh?
weather.
Trying to kill people over there, like I said.
Let's look at the weather.
Firing the cannons off.
Notre Dame, USC, this is the one I want. What's that line at? What do you think?
6.5.
Jay?
Probably more.
8.5.
It is 4.5.
Ooh.
And then,
According to my model.
ooh.
Notre Dame's been on a heater.
Yeah, they don't like the people. The money doesn't like Notre Dame, though. 83% of the money is on USC.
I'm on that too.
Half the bets. It's about 56% of the bets are on USC, but most of the money is on USC.
Yeah.
Hey, Notre
They're
Dame
good.
special teams are balling, though. They can have a another big block
Oh,
punt.
who left?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh boy.
All right, College
It's been your
Station.
swan song all year.
I mean, if I could get away with one thing, I would do it.
College Station. Daily. Jesus Christ. Supposed to have a low chance of rain. 40% chance of rain on Saturday. High of 61, low of 46. Nothing crazy.
When?
12 miles an hour. Nothing crazy.
The stadium's too big.
Yeah, it's not gonna affect much.
I'm not going.
I mean, I'm not going to the game. I'll be watching on TV.
Watch
I may be in a duck blind this weekend.
No.
Yeah.
Do you hunt?
A little bit, dabble. I'm gonna go dust off my all my camo.
This was my other guy who was
You can
supposed to play
find
tonight.
You have him in the lineup?
No. But he was the one I took out, so he's out of there too.
Rondale? You're hunting.
Wow, all the money's on Vandy. Vandy's hot, boys.
Who they got?
It's good.
14.5 against Tennessee with no Hendon Hooker.
Oh, that was,
yeah.
dude, not I don't want to give it like a curtain call.
That was
mine.
That was gonna be mine.
Okay.
That was gonna be mine. I was gonna hold off. That's why I didn't bring him up earlier in the show because
it's sad.
I feel for that guy, man. He's an older senior. He's having an unbelievable year. Got himself an opportunity in the NFL, no doubt. And it's just God, that was a shitty way to go. Shitty way to go out.
Tennessee is down so bad. A&M might be the worst in terms of just where their Riz is right now.
Here's my question: how are games still getting canceled?
Weather, snow.
Like Southern Miss UAB canceled. That's what it says on this website. I don't know if that's an actual true thing or not. Louisiana Tech Old Dominion canceled. I don't understand that. I don't know.
Is Colt McCoy playing right now?
Colt McCoy.
Yep.
Thank God for Justin Fields for fantasy. Boy ripped off 5 straight.
Boy, James Conner, I'm glad I have to rely on him.
Look at Colt McCoy. Are you kidding?
Colt McCoy's going to do it. He ain't going to do it.
What did they do with Kyler?
Kyler's hurt.
No, I'm saying...
What do you mean what did they do? They just paid him.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's obviously a terror.
Ain't doing shit with
I
him.
think it has something to do... I don't think it's all on him. I think it has something to do with... I think Cliff Scott.
Cliff didn't deserve this.
No, I think he's hurt for real.
No. But I'm talking about, like, the reason why the Cardinals haven't been great this year. Right? Like, I think a lot of it has to do with Cliff.
He did exactly what he did today now.
Did you watch any of the... No, seriously.
I haven't watched any of the live.
Okay, well, you need to. I think it's a lot of Kyler.
Oh, a lot of Kyler?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of Kyler.
I heard they made Cliff look bad on it,
No,
too.
they do, but, like, it's a lot of Kyler. Like, they show one clip of DeAndre Hopkins, and I think you've probably seen it. Cause
I saw a clip of,
I think it's a lot of Kyler.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, think about it. DeAndre didn't play for the first 6 or 7 games, and they're already having that conversation. Should tell you a lot.
Boy, they
when you're number one receiver who's well known and well respected, and the accolades are there, comes off the field and literally says, "What you looking at, bro?" That should tell you a lot right there.
That's true.
That should tell you a whole lot right there. I'm not taking Cliff out of it, but I think a lot of it's...
Boy, that's a
bad marriage.
That's a tough person to hit your wagon to. If that's how it is, and that's how he's going to act after he signs that big deal, and your receiver who has played with some very bad quarterbacks
and has always been good,
has that to say about the guy you just paid all that money to? That's tough. That's tough tickets.
Man runs
around.
Well, you've been saying it's tough titties.
Huh?
It's tough titties.
Who says that?
Tough tickets.
No, it's a tough ticket.
It's tough titties.
You can say. I've heard tough titties. I've also heard tough ticket.
I've heard tough ticket 10,000 times more than tough titties.
I haven't said it wrong my whole life.
I'm sure tough titties is something too, but it's
a whole. It's in the dictionary.
Oh,
too bad for you.
Tough
titties.
and titties
Yeah,
are in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think titties are in the dictionary.
I'm just saying what I saw.
I don't know. I don't think so. All right, let's get to the seggies, boys.
I have it ready. Are you ready?
Is it on there? Not my fault. Brought to you by Doe's Eat Place.
Not my fault. Brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. It is absolutely 57. Here we go.
I don't see it in the doc. You're gonna have to move the game if you're playing a video.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I know what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Just X out of it. Okay.
But this is the Arkansas fan stealing
see
the Ole
this?
Miss helmet. I'll rewind it.
You have to rewind it.
I'll bring it back.
Oh, he stole the helmet.
He took the helmet and he's gone. Coach.
How does that happen?
Like,
this guy wanted to go
the player's
get it.
jumping over.
I'm about to say, like, nobody stops this man when he's running down the thing.
Look at the security guy. He's like, I'll go over there, I guess. Shit. It's gone, Coach. He's at the fraternity house. He is gone.
How does that even happen?
Look how fast he is. But not my fault. You leave something out there for an Ole Miss fan. Or an Arkansas fan. Either one of them. Arkansas is not...
I don't even know how that... Boy, people are brave, man.
It's getting worse.
It's all for the gram. It's all
No
for
doubt.
TikTok, all for the
No
gram. It's all
doubt.
for social media, and it's like
It's 100% correct. Like what? Why would you ever think like I'm gonna steal a helmet today?
I mean, I guess
Coaches
people have
leave.
always done stupid shit in like fraternities. Like
Yeah,
you
but
just
it-
don't have
but
on
it gets
video.
even
Yeah,
more
It's
when-
ridiculous.
yeah.
Marwan did all of this. The LSU fan that just sauntered on the field started a whole.
Marwan's not the first person to ever do that.
He's the first person to ever do it like that.
Speaking of the guy, did you see the guy around the field? What game was it? And he got absolutely crushed by the security guard.
That guy
Did you see
played
that?
football.
The one that was running down the sideline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, like if he had a helmet, the helmet's off.
Yes.
That was a 15-yarder.
Yeah, and then he got hit
Targeting.
again. And then the guy got up.
Yeah.
No, more respect to the guy that got up, and then he got hit again by someone else. Whew. You can take a hit.
He was
take a hit?
dazed.
You got a curtain call?
Yes, hold on. Do you?
I do.
What's yours?
My curtain call is to Hendon Hooker. That's what I told you. That was going to be my curtain call from the beginning, and then I didn't want to say it and kind of teased it, but I believe he's a 23 or 24-year-old senior.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee was in a bad place 2 years ago. He had a pretty good year last year, and he had a monster year this year. Put himself in a position to have a career in the NFL. Was probably going to get invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I don't know if he would have won the Heisman, but he would have been he would have been up there, right? He had an opportunity. He put Tennessee back on the map, put them in a position to maybe make the playoffs. They faltered a little bit last weekend against South Carolina, and unfortunately, you're watching the game, and he's running, and he goes down non-contact, drops the ball, goes straight to the knee, and torn left ACL, and it's a shame. You hate to see a guy, especially because he's done everything right, and he's handled himself with a lot of class, and
He deserved everything.
he deserved
that was
everything
coming
that's
his
got
way.
to him this year. He just did not deserve that, and I feel for athletes who go through tough injuries like that. So, current call to Hendon Hooker for the year that he had, for putting Tennessee back. When Tennessee football is good, that's better for SEC. It's better for everybody. It's better for college football, and he had a big part in that.
Great. My curtain
Great.
call.
Great.
My curtain call is this one's it's gonna be somewhat sort of basic, but it's Thanksgiving. We're getting down to the end of the football season. My curtain call is gonna go to this LSU baseball team, where pretty much a lot of these schools around the nation were finishing up their fall World Series and all that stuff. That's pretty much over. We have a very good expectation of what the expectations are on them this year. All right, you're up next.
Up next.
Congrats and kudos of getting through the fall, healthy, better, getting better. You're up next. So my curtain
Show me
call to you
something.
guys. There you go.
And then my curtain call is the A&M Cannon. And us two guys-
That should be that's my not my fault.
Not
right?
my fault. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is actually what I meant to say. Excuse
It's
me.
just such bad feel.
I mean, what do we?
Hold on. Let me get it all the way over. Okay. Sorry.
I mean,
Like we couldn't wait another 3 or
well,
to
and
5
also
seconds.
these two
And
guys.
it's right in their face.
These two guys from UMass. You couldn't be praying with the other guys on the team that are praying.
What makes it any different though? Like we couldn't just wait 3 to 5 more seconds to.
I mean, they were actually getting up as they got shot.
Yeah,
Before
like,
that. Look, watch. He's about to get up. He's done.
I wish we could see
Amen.
the other.
Boom.
I wish we could see the other side because they're sitting there like, oh, get it in, so we can.
Oh,
That's 100% what's happening. Like the dudes are right there.
No doubt.
They wouldn't like, hey, let them finish. They're like, oh, get it in, so we can go ahead and blow this thing
and
up.
nobody
doubt.
pops straight
Come on, man.
No doubt about that.
It's Bush.
Tough.
That's Bush.
That's where A&M is right now.
That's the only victory they were. Oh my God, that's tough.
So you got not my fault. No curtain call. I guess that would be your curtain call / not my fault.
I did both.
What was your curtain call? Curtain call is brought to you by Assured Partners, by the way. What is it? What was yours? I thought that not my fault. Oh, your curtain call is the guy getting the helmet. You flipped him.
Yeah.
You flipped him.
I get them confused. You know
That's
that.
okay. Yeah, you flipped him. That's okay. You got it. We
Thank
did
you.
it. We got there.
I appreciate your leeway.
Maybe I should have a tire leash on you.
Oh. Do that for the show.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, on that note, Have a great Monday. Enjoy the rest of Monday night.
You fry your turkey? What's your Thanksgiving?
I don't like to fry. I don't like
I like a nice fried turkey.
I don't mind a fried turkey. Actually, you have to do it right though.
Favorite Thanksgiving food?
I don't like it dry. You can't dry it out.
We can save this for Wednesday.
Let's save this for Wednesday.
We should. You're right.
Save this for Wednesday. Have a great Monday. Enjoy. Good producer. Enjoy your Monday night football. Huh?
Good. Fine.
Did I say good?
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
You're great.
I have all of these Brian Kelly cut-ups we didn't use.
We didn't have to.
Waste of my time.
No, you used them somewhere else.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
We'll use them on Wednesday.
Stay up till 1 in the morning. Wake up at 5. Good producer.
Great producer.
Great producer.
Great producer. You're watching Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please comment. Let us know. Subscribe to our channel. Share it with a friend. Tell a friend about it.
Thanksgiving.
Hey, let us be the talk of your table. I heard this on Mik'd Up. Lloyd said it's a stupid take. He said that Auburn wasn't as good of a job as Ole Miss, or wasn't a lateral move. Have this conversation at the table. Let us hear about it. Tell people about the show. We enjoy the interaction. We are on all podcast networks, Spotify and Apple. And we will be back here live on Wednesday at an earlier time. We will let you know. We'll have the alert, PSA, all this stuff on Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff. But yeah, we will not have a show on Friday.
Maybe hook up with your ex from your hometown. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. That's what Thanksgiving is.
Ooh, the Wednesday. Yeah, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, everybody comes back in town. That's a tough.
The old high school girl's still there.
That's a tough one.
Back to the hometown.
Stay at home Wednesday night. Don't you go out there.
That's a tough one.
We'll
talk about
Don't you
that.
go out there in them
You
streets. You know what's in them streets. You better stay out of them streets.
We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. Enjoy your night. Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
Yeah, maybe do a little life advice on Wednesday on how to
Peace.
avoid this scenario.
Yeah, we'll teach you something. We'll teach you some things.
Not me. I'm a loser.
What's still dating this high school girlfriend?
No, we weren't dating in high school.
I'm joking.
She hated me.
Did she?
But I can swoon.
Look at that. Look what you did. 2 people, me and her.
Uh-huh.
We didn't swoon me.
Maybe I was just a bad person in high school.
Yeah, you were in high school, huh, when I didn't like you.
Yeah, it's fair. Shouldn't be doing drugs that early.
Well, I didn't know you were doing drugs at the time.
It's okay.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're leaving the show.
What's wrong with you?